Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
When hinges creak in doorless chambers, and strange and frightening sounds echo through the halls, whenever candlelights flicker, where the air is deathly still, that is the time when ghosts are present, practicing their terror with ghoulish delight. Welcome, foolish mortals. I am your host, your ghost host. Kindly step all the way in, please, and make room for everyone. There's no turning back now. And consider this dismaying observation. The chamber has no windows and no doors. Oh, I didn't mean to frighten you prematurely. The real chills come later. Now, as they say, look alive, and let's all stay together, please. Shh. Listen.
You're listening to The Tony Bruno Show.
Ah, yes, indeed, all you ghosts and goblins and witches and bitches and trickers and treaters. And if you're going to perform tricks tonight, we do have a private room upstairs for your dining and dancing pleasure.
And plenty of change.
Yes, indeed. You got any singles?
Of course.
Can you make it rain with, like, fun-sized candy?
Yes, we can. We've got candy. We got the big candy vat here. It's Halloween night. We're live at Moonshine Philly. Lots of kids on the street early.
Yep.
I've never seen as many kids at like 5 o'clock Eastern time when we were getting ready to leave to come over here. I mean, the streets were mobbed.
Well, it's also 73 degrees outside on
it's
a
nice.
Halloween day.
Yeah, it'll be 20 over the weekend.
I know.
You know, we're in that time of the year. We're going to change the clocks. We're going to fall back on Saturday night. You know that?
Uh-oh.
We're
Tony.
going to lose an hour.
I'm used to falling on my ass on Saturday night.
Yeah.
You forgot something before we started the show.
What did I forget? Oh, I forgot to get my accoutrement.
Hello.
I'm sorry. Now, that's why I didn't feel all Halloweenish when we started. Let me get my, this is my favorite costume. This has been all over the world, this costume.
Yeah, you've pulled that costume out of the closet many, 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 many times.
He's pulled many
a lot
things.
of things out of the closet, yes.
Exactly.
I think Don Lemon was in there last night. I pulled him out, and he went on CNN and basically said all white men are evil. Thanks, Don.
Appreciate that, Don.
Yeah. Meanwhile, no politics on the show and no dirty tricks, because you know, pimping ain't easy.
It ain't.
How do you like the pimp? Now, I've worn this pimp costume
See,
before.
now I like...
It's a staple. It's like wearing a tuxedo at a wedding.
I like it. I like what it is, but I think we got to refurbish it a little bit.
Right.
So I think because I love the black lapel.
Yeah.
But I think we got to take this thing to Domenico's and see Michael, see if he can get a nice like velvet lapel going on. But
This is velvet.
No. The
lapel itself.
The lapel itself. This is more like
It's
a
satin.
leather. Yeah, it's like
No,
a
it's a
satin kind of a
satin.
thing. But I think we should get the velvet put on.
I can actually do it myself. I can do the Benny Crass version. Just cut the lapel here. Benny Crass from Crass Brothers, 937 South Street, Store of the Stars, used to wear these because he sold his own suits, and he would always wear suits with no lapels.
You can't do that, man.
Well, I mean, he was different.
It was different, but you can't do it.
Unfortunately, that look never really took
No,
off.
I was going to say, I don't think it was going to look like it was wearing chef jackets.
We're going to have fun tonight. So if you're a kid in the neighborhood, kids want to come by, we got the big bowl of fun-sized candies.
Yeah, I want to know who said that who basically deemed those to be fun size, because nothing that big could be fun.
They
Ask any woman.
that's
They're
small.
bite-sized.
Well, ask women
Ask
if
any
anything
woman.
small can be fun.
Right.
But look, we got Milky Ways. We've got M&Ms. We've got Nestle's Crunch.
We got white boys.
Snickers. We got one.
Now let me tell you.
I gotta play that.
We got Kit Kats. We got Twix. Not one of my favorites. So I'll be giving away all the Twix. Milky Ways.
Oh, you're gonna give away the ones you don't like.
Well, I'm gonna snag some of the ones. I'm a Kit Kat and Nestle's Crunch fan. I like the crunchy stuff inside. I don't like nougats. Now, today was it today or yesterday? There was National Candy Corn Day.
Yes,
Was
it
that
was yesterday. It was yesterday.
And there was National Peeps Day or something. We were actually watching a show where they make the Peeps up in a factory in Pennsylvania.
I like a nice marshmallow.
You like Peeps?
Yeah, I like
No.
marshmallow.
No.
You don't
Why?
like Peeps?
I
What's wrong
don't.
with
They're,
marshmallow?
I'm not a big marshmallow fan because it's just all sugar. If it's
When
too
I was a kid,
sweet, I don't like them.
I love Mallow Cups. Remember? They
I'm
still
a
make
Mallow
them.
Cup guy.
Mallow Cups are basically like Reese's Pieces, but there's marshmallow inside instead of peanut butter. And I used to love those as a kid because you get it all messy, you get all that. And I like Reese's Pieces, but they have to be frozen now to eat them. I can't eat like warm Reese's Cups. I
So
should say.
when I eat the Reese's peanut butter cup, I eat a circle out of the middle.
Really? Why?
Because, man, I
What?
eat a circle out of the middle, and then I literally take all the chocolate off of the cup itself, and then eat the rest of it. Yes,
How
man.
the heck do you do a circle in the middle of a Reese's Buttercup?
Well, you're like my mom, Robin, and I can't tell you that, but I'm a very skilled individual. When it
Well,
comes
I
down
hate to
those
do it
things.
to you this early in the
Ew.
all-
I just pictured it.
I'm telling you, man.
Maybe you could do that. I don't think I have. Someone wants to bring in a Reese's. I don't have any Reese's peanut butter cups, but maybe Luigi will give us a live demonstration tonight.
Absolutely. You got to pay extra for that, though.
You gotta have a password.
No. Oh, we got a trick or treater come in here.
Let's get the
But
kids in
the
here.
mask. Oh, what is going on? We got cats. But he's got to put the mask on. No mask, no can.
Put the mask down, man.
So,
Come
but you
on
have
up
to
here.
go.
Watch
gotta
the
put
You
the
have
mask
to go
on.
up there.
Robert, move that mic
Guide
over
this kid
so
in here.
people don't
Got
trip
him in
over
here.
the wire. Now this is the Black Panther, and he's got neon. Did you turn the black light on, Robin? What do you
we were
like?
What'd you go for?
Take
What'd you go
more than
for?
one. Now, what is your name? Black Panther,
He's
ladies
Black
and gentlemen.
Panther, buddy. He looks phenomenal, though.
Yeah, he does. I like it.
You got to zip the back of the suit up, though.
Now, is that mom or dad in the? Is mom?
Mama cat.
Mama Cat.
Ha ha.
Thank you.
Not Mama Cass.
That,
Mama
I
Cat.
saw those the other day. They have the big heads now are big this year.
Yes, they're huge.
Animal heads. They used to be big at furry conventions only. Now people are wearing them everywhere, not just at their weekend debauchery
Yes.
sessions with other strange people wearing animal costumes. It's
I
big
think
in Pittsburgh,
It's
you know.
catching on.
Pittsburgh.
It is.
No,
They
it's like the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is the furry capital of the world.
I could never do that, man.
You can never do that?
I could never do the ferry. No. Couldn't
Really?
Do it. No, couldn't do it.
well,
You just dress up as an animal and then you have sex with strangers, not even knowing who's in the other costume?
Can't do it, man.
that would be weird.
Strict.
probably
You
do it
imagine like
once.
a panda banging a squirrel? It's just weird.
Oh, have you ever? No. Okay, we did a story on this because there was somebody.
course
There
we
was
did.
there was a when we were still doing the In the Night show. There was a football team that went to Pittsburgh to play, and they were housed in the same hotel that
As
there
a
was
furry
as a
convention,
furry
yes.
convention. It was a big deal, and the players were like, it was a little weird. The
players were walking into the lobby.
I had never heard about this whole furry thing, so I did a little research. Let me tell you, when you do research on furry,
You find
there's
out stuff you don't wanna know.
There's also, and there's pictures, and there's videos, and I didn't think it was possible, but they do, in their costumes, they have strategically placed holes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In and out.
Yes.
Good for you.
How do you
And-
think they have sex?
And there are pictures and videos of, like, they have something called pile-ups.
Pile-ups?
Yes, which is a furry gangbang.
Pile-ups?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds a little cleaner than a
It
gangbang.
does. Right.
Pile-ups or something.
Pile-ups?
Yes, I think it was
Caravans?
or maybe it was a pile on. I don't know, but it was.
They
very,
don't have, that's one of the things you don't see in the NFL. All the new penalty. Remember piling on used to be a penalty in the NFL when like 6 guys would jump on top of the pile. They call it piling on, right? Now they don't have that penalty anymore. Because you're not allowed to even touch a player in the NFL now when you make a tackle.
Especially the quarterback.
Especially the quarterback. But we
got tons of stuff to get into tonight.
we have the big story here in Pennsylvania today. I know if you're listening all over the world.
huge news.
It is huge. It is. In fact,
Ew.
let's get the breaking news sounder in here because this may be the biggest story of 2018. Forget about the elections. Forget about all this rhetoric and all this other crap going on out there in the midterms. Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen. And here we are on October 31st, 2018. 18 years into the new 21st century, Pennsylvania has entered the 20th century. So we still got a lot of catching up to do.
I think it's because we had John Avello on last week, and you were complaining. You called out Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
I've
been calling out this state since day one, but more importantly, ever since Jim Kenney became the mayor.
You have been calling them out forever, but last week, most importantly, we had John Avello on talking about all the money that's going to be made in each state, and they were listening, and they finally said.
And I do the U.S. Bet Guide football picks every week. Where, by the way, I was 4-0 last weekend. 4-0. I could have gone 7-0. There were so many games I loved. So you see what's happening? My picks were a little Mets this season. I had a 3-1 weekend a couple of weeks ago, then 4-1 this weekend. So I'm now rolling into the second half of the season. And
no better time than now.
Right now, because we've separated the fakes from the real deals out there. We know who the bad teams are.
It always takes till about week 6, week 7 when you start realizing who the cream of the crop is.
Exactly.
Who the stable teams to bet on are.
It's kind of like making love. You don't want to. You want to start out a little bit slow. You just want to get a little bit warm first, slow and steady until you build up hot and heavy. And
you always want to win. You don't say, I'm going to suck the first 4 weeks of the season and give you bad picks.
That's not how it works.
But I'm going to get better later on. That's not how it works.
Works.
Exactly. That's not how any of this works.
So why don't you tell them how they can do this now?
So now, Bet Sugar House is one of our sponsors, and I give the picks on there every week. I post them. And they've been telling us, it's not going to be long now because under the system right now, you can't actually make a bet in Pennsylvania. You can actually be on the site in Pennsylvania.
You can deposit and withdraw.
Right, but to actually go and make a bet, you have to go to the state of New Jersey to do this.
Right.
So you have to drive over the bridge, then make your bet, and then come back home if you're a Pennsylvania native.
U.S. Bet Guide is where all of your picks are posted and where you can sign up.
Right, and when you sign up under the Tony Bruno and U.S. Bet Guide, when you go to my picks, because you see all these other companies doing it. They're matching it $100 on your first $100 deposit. What kind of cheap-ass shit is that? Pardon my French. $100 from these multi-zillion-dollar companies? That's the match?
That's an
Even
outrage.
Luigi wouldn't settle for that crap.
Absolutely not.
Would you be enticed by a $100 match on your first deposit?
What am I, 12? No.
Exactly.
No.
What are you playing? The daily number?
Playing penny slots here? I'm laying action.
Exactly. On Sugar House, play sugarhouse.com and U.S. Bet Guide, $250 is matched on your first bet.
That's what I'm talking about.
Your first deposit, boom, becomes $500 in the bank.
That's what I'm talking about.
Damn right. And now Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board,
I've been waiting to
finally has allowed Sugar House and Harrah's to actually start online betting and live betting. Sugar House will have a sports book in their casino, Harrah's, and, of course, Parks. But Sugar House and Harrah's, the latest to get their licenses, and they will start taking bets in the house. You can go to Sugar House and bet on sports starting December 1st, ladies and gentlemen.
This is huge, man.
December 1st. So
right in time, Black Friday. Right in time.
Exactly right.
Now,
and obviously, they've been working on the mechanism of getting all this stuff going. I know
Right.
Parks built their 360 club. They turned that into a sports book.
Yep.
They're going to do it probably in November because they've been working on this ahead of time and they had space. Sugar House is going to do it. And now I'm walking this. I can walk and get action on Sundays. I can walk over there and get action on Saturday nights, too.
Oh, easy.
I mean, if you're lucky. If I wear this suit and I walk in there.
You could wear that on a Monday and get action. What are you talking about? That's one outfit the afternoon crowd is always attracted to. Trust me. You come walking in there like Big Daddy Warbucks, believe me, someone's down on their luck.
And before I get people saying, oh, you're encouraging gambling. No, people
no.
gamble on everything. The lottery. What's a bigger form of what people spend more money on lottery?
Wait.
People who can't afford.
People say that sports betting is bad, but you're saying people gamble on lottery. How do you think this thing got up to $1.6 billion without people gambling thousands of people were buying hundreds of dollars of tickets that they can't afford to play the lottery. This way, you actually have a chance to win. And it's not like you don't have to bet several $100s or a couple dimes a game. You can bet $2, $3 parlays, $5.
Exactly.
Have some fun with it. You can actually make the game a little interesting if that's what you want to do.
And listen, I play the Powerball and the Mega Millions. Not every week.
We didn't play tonight. That thing's up to $800 million.
It doesn't matter. Does it really matter?
Sure, it matters.
No, it doesn't. Because if you won $7 million, you would be happy.
If I won
but people
$8,
they don't go play the lottery when it's $7 million because that's not enough. Yet, if you won a $7 million lottery, would you be mad?
Hell no. I'd be happy as heck.
So I take half of that. Give me $3 million and sayonara.
That's it.
Or hasta la vista, baby. Or
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Peace
or,
out.
Most importantly,
What?
avafangul.
Exactly right.
The definitive see you later, alligator tagline.
That's right. So basically what happens now is that you can go as of December 1st, you will be able to walk into Harrah's here, Sugar House, Parks Casino, and you can go sit in a normal sports book and place bets, but you will also be able to do so from these apps on the telephone.
Exactly.
Which is awesome because before you would have to go, you could always deposit cash and you can withdraw cash from these apps, but you had to go to a different state to place your bets if you were in Pennsylvania. Now, you don't have to drive to Delaware. You don't have to drive to New Jersey. You could sit from the comfort of your own home and do this online.
Exactly.
And that's
right.
a huge deal.
You know what, Tony? There's a lot of people out there who are not familiar with how to place a bet because they've never had the chance to. You should have a special Tony Bruno betting clinic. Like where
I'll
you
be doing that. I'll be having a women's betting clinic.
Right.
Because guys already know that they look for my picks in the Stone Cold Guaranteed
Yeah,
box.
but people don't know how to bet a lot of times.
I'll teach them. I'll do women in betting.
Believe me, if they start losing, they'll learn really fast. Don't worry. This is a very quick learner's thing, trust me. Robin, what are you drinking?
We are drinking the Bruno's Blue Skies.
Yes.
With Sky Energy Drink, which is awesome, and we finally perfected the ingredients.
Yes, we have. And by the way, if you come in tonight to the program, you will get absolutely free a taste of Sky Energy. Our good buddy Joe Quillen was in here last week. He walked home with a case of Sky Energy drink.
I know.
Right?
He
out the
schmoozed
door.
the owner.
Out the door.
Schmoozed the owner.
How many cans in there? 1, 2,
By the way,
5, 6.
It's a 24-pack,
24 cans of Sky Energy drink. Now, Joe, have you tried the Sky Energy?
Not yet.
Oh, he's got a cold. It's not been approved by the FDA as something that cures cancer, the common cold, gonorrhea, all the other diseases that people have when they watch TV, and there's a drug that has 72 after effects or possible side effects which actually scare you away from actually taking the medication for what it's supposed to do to help you.
But going back on this sports betting thing, I actually am so excited that Pennsylvania has finally decided
to adopt. How the hell is New
something that's
Jersey?
been around for years. This should have been done 30 years ago.
Exactly.
30 years ago, easily. But it's good now. It's good for
everyone.
Much. It's good for sports bettors. You save a ton of money not having to go meet up with your bookie every single week.
Exactly.
It leaves a lot of awkwardness out.
Tony, can you hand me a Sky Energy, please?
Absolutely. Would you like the sugar-free or the regular Sky?
You know what? I'll try the sugar-free one.
That's the one I had before. That's the one I had before the show. And I'm ready to go.
I got 2 cases right here down low. And if you'd like to come into Moonshine Philly tonight, you're going to get one. And I want you to taste it because, you're getting something free to taste. And I guarantee you.
That's what she said.
As we've told you before, not just to taste for just a second.
Just to see how it feels.
But you got to know what it tastes like. You don't go into stores and get a taste test.
Exactly.
I mean, there's some wine tastings and things like that.
Except for in the mall food court. Free sample bourbon chicken? Hell yeah, I want a free sample bourbon chicken.
That's different.
Now that's the regular one. I want the
Costco
sugar
or
free.
any of those places, they have like little samples. But it's like a urine sample. When they give you little drinks, they put them in those little cups with like pill cups.
Yeah.
And then they pour stuff
Why
in it.
did you have to put that image in
Because
my
that's
brain?
what it reminds me of. I don't want a urine sample. I want a full can or a full bottle of product to taste it. How am I going to taste something in a shot glass? If it's liquor, I understand a shot glass.
Right.
If it's an energy drink, and this is not like any other energy drink you'll ever have, folks. No aftertaste. That's why I don't drink energy drinks. And when our buddy Ed over there at Sky Energy said, taste this. And I said, I'm not a big energy drink guy. I'm not going to lie to you. I tasted it, and it didn't have that bitter aftertaste, and it doesn't taste. Even Luigi's drinking the sugar-free tonight.
Right.
And here's the best part. B vitamins in here, not loaded with taurine and caffeine, which makes your head explode, especially if you're playing
And gives you the
Fortnite for like
jitters.
4 days in a row.
And then you have a crash afterwards. This is no
Yes.
crash, no jitters.
Exactly. I take it at night here. I drink it here, and I have no trouble going to sleep.
Someone checking here on Facebook saying, hello, guys. Love the costumes. Luigi, where's your costume? I'm actually dressed up as a famous Italian superhero, Captain Disgraziato.
Captain Disgraziato
is who I'm dressed as tonight.
Now, Danny Dow also checks in saying, Tony looks like a shake-a-hand, but I don't remember the movie. Pimpin', baby.
Pimpin' ain't easy.
Shake-a-hand?
You know what else we're doing tonight, though?
What else?
Because we're in the mood for giving things away.
Yes. It's not even Christmas yet, even though all the Christmas stuff's
It's not
up in
Christmas,
store.
but tomorrow night, Thursday night.
Yes.
The last one of the season. Tony, I teased it. Why don't you go ahead and bring it home for the folks?
Well, what's interesting to note here, as Vin Scully used to say on the Dodger broadcasts, tonight is Halloween on this Wednesday night. But you know what Thursday, November 1st is, Luigi?
That would be the final Cantina Laredo dinner?
Not just that, but there's a significance to this date as well.
Is it Dios de los Muertes?
It's Dia de los Muertes.
That's right, the Day of the
All
Dead.
Souls Day,
That's right.
Because there's All Souls Day and All Saints Days in the Christian religion. And Dia de los Muertos,
Day of the Dead.
is they celebrate their loved ones. It's not even though people have makeup that look like skeletons,
Yes.
they're actually celebrating the life of a lost loved one.
So
So it's a day of joy. It's not a day of scary stuff and horror. And Halloween obviously is a fun time, and people dress up in different costumes. But in Mexico and Central America, Dia de los Muertos is a big holiday.
It's a huge holiday. Robin, with the rookie mistake there, walks offset with her headphones on.
Robin.
So
I'm sorry. I
now
didn't hand you a drink.
Now,
Robin's Jones in now.
While Tony's talking about this real fast, I do want to. So last year, I went for the Day of the Dead celebration at Cantina Laredo. There wasn't a tequila dinner going on. I went just for the celebration.
Correct.
They were all in costume. The music was pumping. The tequila was flowing. It was phenomenal. And this time, there's a really good tequila on deck.
Yes.
It's the Cazadores.
Cazadores. Tequila Cazadores. And you know what's great about Cazadores? It's from the Jalisco region, which is where the best blue agave is grown.
Started in 1922.
But that area in Jalisco, Mexico, it actually boasts the best agave in the world.
You're not going to get that anywhere else, folks.
No, I mean, there's agave all over
Right.
Mexico, but there's some, it's like Pecorino Romano cheese. Or it's like, what's the other goat cheese that's big?
The other goat cheese that's big?
What's the one in Italy where it's only in one place and everybody has to have it and it's really expensive? Parmigiano Reggiano.
Oh, Parmigiano Reggiano.
Parmigiano Reggiano is only made in Reggiano. And the reason it's so expensive and so special is because the goats that they use produce a unique flavor of milk. And therefore, that's why Parmigiano Reggiano cheese...
It comes from lonely farmers.
Yeah, it comes from, the farmers in Reggiano, Italy, where the goat's milk is sweet. So that's why everybody craves that, and that's why it's so much more expensive than regular Parmesan cheese or Parmigiano.
So you're getting something very special that's very indigenous to one part of Mexico.
Exactly. So you're going to have, and here's how it works. We always go to these Cantina Laredo big tequila dinners. Every time they do it, there's a different tequila that's on display. And they put out a sampling, a tasting of 4 different types of casinos. I got the sports betting on my mind.
We'll be right by Valley Forge that night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, tequila. And then you get a 4-course dinner, and between each course, from soup to nuts, you get a specially mixed drink of the night that pairs with the entree that you're having.
And they're always the drinks aren't just some like run-of-the-mill things that they're throwing back behind the bar.
Yeah,
there goes
not making
weeks
you a
into
Manhattan.
planning. They're weeks into planning.
Now we're giving away dinner for 2 tomorrow to join us.
You have to be able to go tomorrow night.
Right,
so
you have to be able to go tomorrow
tonight.
But they do still. I want to say that there's a couple of plates left. If you wanted to guarantee that you can come, there are a few seatings left. But
let me tell you how great
they're
this deal
going
is.
fast.
Tell them how great this deal is. If you went out and tried to have this dinner a la carte, it would cost you what?
I can break it down for you. Here's why.
$200
because
least per person.
I'm a man who enjoys tequila. I fell in love with tequila. It's my favorite, right? And I drink the higher end stuff.
Of course.
If you were going to go to have to sample some of these añejos and double añejos that you'll be having at these dinners, just the samplings alone are going to cost you north of $80.
Exactly.
For like we're talking like half ounce to 1 ounce pours just for snifters, just for the samplings. You add that $80 alone plus the drinks that go along with it. you're talking at least $150 before you even order one thing to eat.
Per person?
Per person.
Yes.
Per person. If you're talking about just the drink alone. Then you add the 3 courses on top of that, you're looking $210 to $230 easy per person. That's a $460 bill if you're going to do this. If you're going to do this a la carte out of Cantina Laredo.
But because they do this every year, and they every couple of months, and they partner with a great tequila company every time, it's a way to go out and taste the product and then walk away with an unbelievable value for dinner.
We're not going to give it away for $460.
We're not.
We're not going to do it for $360.
Not even $300.
We're not going to do it for $250. In fact, you know what? We're not even going to do it for $100. Tony, why don't you tell them what this thing out the door is going to cost them?
Well, not tonight. You're going to get it.
No,
for
you're going to get it.
You're lucky enough to win.
But if you
$60 per person
out the door.
Out the $60. So it's $120. Not for one person. Dinner for two. A great meal, great drinks, and there's even a deal with Lyft. They're not. I'm sorry, Eric. They're not doing Uber. They're doing Lyft.
If you sign up for Lyft, they'll give you a free ride home.
If you sign up and you're not a member, you can get a free ride home. So if you're worried about going out there, actually up and back,
you get a full.
I think it's for $5.
Is
Not
it
free.
It's a $5 ride.
It's
I can get you a $5 ride down in Kensington easily. That's no problem.
Course.
$2.
You get a lot of stuff for $5.
$2 if it's raining. The best part about it is that it's not just like a sit down like half an hour out the door. This is an experience. So for about 2 hours, you're there. You're getting a backstory of the tequila. If it's something that you want to get into, for people that enjoy like wine tastings and scotch and whiskey and stuff like that, you get a real understanding of what you're consuming that night. And again, the food comes out slow. The conversation's great. And again, you get to hang out with Tony. Probably won't be wearing this outfit.
I will not be wearing this though.
But you get to hang out with us at least, and that's
Miss
always
Robin
a good time.
and I will be there. Luigi will be there.
I'm hanging.
You never know who's going to stop by, and it's always a fun time.
And I'm off the next day.
Oh,
which means we're getting loose, brother.
We're going
to get loose. And because I heard at the King of Prussia Mall, where the Cantina Laredo is located, is that they've already put up the Christmas tree and decorations. The turkey hasn't even been thawed yet, Tony.
It hasn't even been slaughtered
exactly. Yet. And they're putting out Christmas.
It's so
Christmas.
wrong.
It's all the stores. They had them up September. The Christmas trees were up in Lowe's and Home Depot.
Like a couple weeks ago already.
Like in the beginning of October.
Oh,
We're not even, forget about
wrong.
it. Used to be we got mad at when it was up at Halloween, right after Halloween. That used to be always after Thanksgiving. But, the Christmas holiday shopping season doesn't start the day after Thanksgiving anymore. People see stuff, they have sales. It's about retail.
No, it's
about retail.
But it's bullshit, man. Because
it's not. If you want to get something, you see something in July or August that somebody in your family wants, why wouldn't you buy it then and put it away,
The
right?
fact that Black Friday exists is an outrage. It's an outrage, man. It really is. The Thanksgiving, you're supposed to be spending time with your family. And I'd rush out the goddamn door to go buy an iPod for $12. I'm sorry.
Well,
it's the way I feel. It's just the way I feel. No, not very few people do that.
Let's get back to the dinner now.
Yeah, so anyway, at Cantina Laredo, KOP, is how you can find them on Twitter.
Right.
And CantinaLaredo.com, you can find them on the web. And Cantina Laredo, KOP, you can find them on Facebook. You can get your tickets there. You call them up tomorrow night, 7 p.m. sharp, $60, like Tony said, soup to nuts, 3-course dinner paired with all the drinks, and you get to taste the higher end. Again, they're gonna have an añejo.
Yes.
And they're rare, buddy.
And you can sit at our table.
Maybe.
If you're nice.
Maybe.
If you're really, really nice,
you can sit with us. But
Exactly.
the winners will.
The winners will sit at our
They
table.
can sit with us, or
and we've done this a lot. How many great listeners have we taken to
dozens,
Cantina Laredo?
Dozens over the past couple of
And
years.
every single one we've taken, they say, "Wow, you guys aren't lying. This is amazing."
Right now, the only thing is that if you've won before, you are not eligible to win again.
Why not?
Because
What is this, a radio station where they have the 30? If you haven't won in a year.
If it's been over a year, then fine.
Well, we haven't given one of these away in a long time.
It's an outrage.
How are we going to determine who wins tonight?
That's a good question.
Lucky caller number 6. No, I have no idea. I'll figure that out.
If the phones are working, we'll do.
They are working.
We'll do a lucky caller.
619-924-9874.
Now we do have people.
9874.
9874. We do have people checking in on Periscope, on Facebook. I don't know who J3_3 is, but he says, "Yo, I'm gonna win the tequila dinner, man."
Yo, I guarantee you don't. How about that, man? I can't stop looking at Tony's hat in the side.
Oh, he also
Look, I just noticed it on the Facebook Live feed.
It's fantastic.
And if you want to know how to get it, if you're just listening, you just go to TonyBrunoShow.com, and we're streaming, of course, on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live, on Periscope, on Stitch.
Correct. Now, if you're catching this as a replay, just make sure that you're available on any Wednesday between 7 and 9 p.m. Eastern.
That's when
and
we
you
do it
can
live.
And then you can join us live. So if this is the replay version, it still sounds great, but we're not as interactive.
Exactly.
Now, the same person, J33, said he was at he heard that at furry conventions in hotels, he knows that hotels have changed litter boxes.
Really?
They have big litter boxes. I read that
at least
too.
they're not pooping in the streets like they do in San Francisco.
It's like Sex on the Beach for these guys. You know what I'm saying? Throwing it in the sand.
Litter boxes, is that for before, during, or after?
I don't know. And you have a shout out from somebody named Eddie Stewart. He says, Tony, it's been a long time since we hung out in Tahoe those years. Good to hear you again. It sounds beautiful, man.
Beautiful.
And my friend Rhett Butler says hello.
Love Rhett Butler. Wasn't he in Gone with the Wind? No, we know you know Rhett Butler. We've met him. I always have to use that joke when you see a guy named Rhett Butler, right?
No.
You know who Rhett Butler was?
No.
Oh, my God.
Are you serious?
I don't know who Rhett Butler was. Set me up for it. Come on, don't give me...
How can you be a movie watcher and not have seen
Who the hell
Gone
can
with
tell
the
you,
Wind?
like the 17th character actor in any mob movie,
Not
but
any,
doesn't know
but-
who Rhett Butler is.
Who's Rhett Butler?
He was in Gone with the Wind. It was Clark Gable's
I never
character.
saw On with the Wind.
You
That's
didn't have to see it to know who Rhett Butler is.
Well, I would
frankly.
have to, yes, because I would
No,
have
you
no idea who he
don't.
is. God damn it, Tony.
You don't have to
Luigi,
see Gone with
you
the
might as well
Wind.
just get your things right now, pack it up in one of those boxes that they have, what they call the banker's box, put the little lamp, put your books, and get the hell out of here.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous, though. I didn't know who he was. I'm sorry. I'm Gone with the Wind and Casablanca are on my list of things to do this upcoming
They're
month.
really hard to find. I mean, you're never really going to find them readily.
Well, if you put in Casablanca, you know how much porn comes up these days, man?
Oh, that's different.
It's a house of white women. That's exactly what comes up. And speaking of white women, where are they at?
Where
They might be on the phones.
Let's go to the phones.
Let's go to the damn phones,
I
Tony.
didn't know anybody was screening the phone.
Nobody's screening the phone, so I'm just gonna do. We're gonna go
We're
Ray
going
Charles
blind.
to the airport. We're
So,
flying blind.
Jack
Jack
in the back
is out trick-or-treating,
He's out
right?
trick-or-treating. So he's our man on the street tonight, that if we wanted to have a live trick-or-treating update, we would go to him because he's trying to do it while walking. So
How hard is it to hold a phone
Have
and
you
walk?
seen Jack? This is an impossible task, man. all right?
He's got his kids. The kids are going door to door
Yeah,
knocking on doors.
But he's like 19 natty lights in by now.
So
That's
I
all
think
right.
here's what we're going to do for the giveaway. We
Yes.
are not going to do a caller number 3 because that's just we'll be jammed with phone calls all at once.
And
What
you
we're
have to be
gonna-
able to go, by the way.
Everybody that calls in and you have to be able to go tomorrow night. Everybody that calls in, we're going to put your name in the hopper, and then we will announce after. I'll draw.
Oh, we
names.
did that before.
Yeah,
We
we'll
did that
just
before.
draw
Yep.
names afterwards. So make sure you call in 619-924-9874 at any point during the show. We'll put your name in the hopper. If you can't call in for whatever reason, just make sure you let us know on Facebook Live or Periscope, and I'll put your name in the hopper as well.
Love the Hopper. It hasn't made an appearance lately.
Let's go to the damn phones.
Let's go to the damn phones.
Again, we have no call screen, so we're flying blind here.
That's all right. This is a podcast.
That's all right. 484-804. You're on the line.
Hello.
What up, Halloween?
What up, Jose?
What up, Bruno's? What up, Luigi's? What up, Miss Robbins? And Halloween costume, yo?
Yo.
Miss Robbins didn't say anything.
Oh,
yo.
what up, yo?
Are you trick-or-treating tonight, or are you having the tricks brought to your establishment? Everything's Grubhub, I think, delivers tricks now.
They do.
If you can't go out on Halloween looking for tricks or treats.
I'm more like eating the candy type of tricks, yo.
Exactly right.
Gotta give me that Kit Kat Reese's action, yo.
Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Why
Kit
would anybody
Kat,
break
yo.
off a piece when it's so damn small?
I don't know.
I'm not breaking off any of my Kit Kat,
Give me one of
especially my little fun size.
Give me one of those
They
things.
shouldn't call it fun size. They should call it bite size because it's one bite.
No, because
depressing.
bite size sounds chintzy.
Exactly.
Fun size sounds like, oh,
Well,
it must be fun. You broke me off a half.
I
one of
did
those,
break
mate.
you off a half, bro.
I mean, listen how good this sounds, Jose. Wait a second, man.
No, it's good.
I got
Other than
stereo
that, let's
crunching
get to the
going on.
business. Number
Wafer.
one,
I'm sorry.
you know what we had last night, Anaheim?
We had hockey
We
action.
had hockey action, yo.
Wait, did the Flyers not cancel their
Rolling
season
Pastors.
yet?
No, not yet. They haven't melted the ice yet.
Nope. So they beat Anaheim last night. In case you're wondering, out west,
Who
people
won?
that were sleeping last night.
Who won?
Flyers 1-3-2, yo.
Flyers
Brian
won in
Elliott was
Anaheim?
feller in net.
They got to go to Disney today to celebrate, and Dave Hacksaw said, "Hey, you got to take every win you can and celebrate it."
They find a goalie there yet or no?
No.
No, because he's
Can they
still
bring
in the
Mike
minors.
Trout back with them so the Phillies don't have to go through this whole free agency thing, worrying about Bryce Harper and Manny Machado and all this other stuff?
At least the Eagles are making moves.
Yes, they are. I said this
Hey,
last week on
what
the
up,
show.
Golden Tate?
Golden Tate, not to be confused with Mayor James H.J. Tate, the mayor of Philadelphia back when I was a young child. Most people aren't old enough to remember. Not to be confused with Sharon Tate.
No.
Not
Or
to be
Lars Tate
confused
in the Georgia
with
Bulldogs
High Lit.
running back tradition days.
Not to be confused with High Lit, the legendary former disc jockey in Philadelphia, who was the potentate of the Keystone, Garden, and Diamond States.
Damn.
That's good potentate knowledge right there. How about Larry Tate?
Every time I hear Golden Tate, I think of something nasty sexual. I don't know what it is.
Because you keep thinking the word taint.
No, it's Tate.
I
know, but that's what she keeps thinking.
Golden showers, taint.
No, come on.
It's just, that's what comes to my mind every time I hear the name.
Have you ever seen a golden taint? People get it bleached now. It's not even going to be golden. But interestingly
no,
enough,
I did not.
They asked Golden Tate today at his Eagles introductory press conference, where the name Golden came from.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know, I'm the third Golden.
Golden.
So somebody was drunk in my family. So his father was, his grandfather was named Golden Tate. His father was named Golden Tate II, and he's Golden Tate III. How about that knowledge right there? You're
boy.
not getting that anywhere else.
Man, we don't get any Golden Tate history in this show.
I like the signing. I know people say, they have so many other needs. What are they? Do you realize that
I like the signing.
Golden Tate is one of the best yards per catch receivers in the NFL?
Yeah, but his numbers are down this year, though.
No, he still leads. I have the numbers right here. Golden
40
Tate
receptions.
this year, Luigi, this year is the leading receiver with he's of the 20 wide receivers with 40 or more receptions. He is number one in yards after the catch.
Which is why the Eagles went and got him.
6.6 yards after the catch. That's Golden Tate.
Which is why
Tyreek Hill, who everybody has in their fantasy team because he's great, right? And the Chiefs are unbelievable. You know how many yards after the catch he averages? 6.3.
Time out, Tony. You want to talk about Tyreek Hill and Golden Tate in the same sentence?
I'm giving you stats. I'm giving you stats.
Here's what I got with your stats. Ready? Tyreek Hill outscores Golden Tate.
It's not about touchdowns. I'm giving you yards after catch.
I'm just saying Tyreek Hill's a hell of a lot more important.
I'm not talking about who's a better player.
It's Tyreek Hill.
It's all you fantasy geeks use as stats.
Well, but you just threw out a stat to me like it's important.
This is an important stat. Okay. He's number one in the NFL yards after catch. That's a fact. That's not an opinion.
I understand that.
All right, Tyreek Hill. You know how many catches?
How many touchdowns?
You know how many catches Golden Tate has this year? With not even the number one receiver on the Detroit Lions?
Go ahead.
44.
Okay.
You know how many catches Tyreek Hill has?
Go ahead.
With the Kansas City Chiefs? 44. That's how you base yards after the catch on the exact same numbers of catches, and it's 6.3. Now, Tyreek Hill may have an 80-yard touchdown pass.
He also has 705 yards and 7 touchdowns.
So you want to use different stats to downgrade other stats.
I'm not. I'm not downgrading him at all. I love
Odell Beckham Jr., 4.1 yards per catch.
Well, that's because Eli can't throw it past 4.1 yards.
That's true. Antonio Brown, 47 catches, 5.9 yards average after the catch.
Yeah, that's kind of weird because his numbers are down a little bit this year. He's usually one
But this isn't about Stephon Diggs, who's a great receiver, right?
He's good.
He's a great receiver.
He's not great.
He's great.
Yeah, Adam Thielen's great. Stephon Diggs is all right.
Stephon Diggs is great. He catches everything, man. He can't even get mail out of his mailbox. It sticks to his hand.
I love the move. And,
by the way, Golden Tate's got 8 games left this year. He's a free agent at the end of the year.
And if he doesn't re-sign, the Eagles will get a compensatory pick.
Exactly. So this isn't a big risk. And people were, just a couple of weeks ago, people were complaining about the Eagles' offense. Oh, Carson Wentz, he doesn't have any receivers. He's not a run-down-the-field, breakaway speed guy. They signed a guy, and he got hurt. He really didn't play, and now he's on the IR.
Well, the reason why I think that they went out and signed a guy like Golden Tate is because of the yak thing, and this is why. Is because the Eagles are hurting really bad right now at running back. Jay Ajayi goes down, right?
Yeah.
They've realized that Corey Clement and Smallwood are not able to carry the load by themselves. Rather than going out and Howie Roseman decides, rather than going out and overpaying for a David Johnson or a Jordan Howard or Le'Veon Bell, who coincidentally is still not showing up to Pittsburgh.
He's going to show up. He's going to take the. I heard today he's going to show up. And he's going to take the franchise tag for next year.
The next best thing that Howie could have done was go out and get himself another wide receiver that he can line up anywhere he wants on the field.
Exactly. But mostly in the slot.
Mostly in the slot, but he also has the speed to play outside. And you can even put him in the backfield. You can put him in the Wildcat sometimes. But
we don't want to see him in a Wildcat.
But now you use, they did it in Detroit sometimes. But now you use the passing game as the running game. You add another little wrinkle in it, and you start moving like the Patriots did when they had all the smaller wide receivers with like Amendola and Welker and now Julian Edelman. So that's what they did. They gave Carson Wentz another weapon to use as basically a de facto running back by throwing the ball 2 to 3 yards and letting Golden Tate work.
It's not even a de facto running back. It's the fact that all the other teams now know they put their number one corner on Alshon Jeffrey. He's the big play threat down the field, right? He's their big play threat. So now everybody's focusing on Alshon. I mean, you see Zach Ertz gets open in the middle of the field. Now you're seeing Dallas Goedert able to get open and get some plays. And, and even though Aguilar is not getting a lot of numbers this year, he's still reliable. And now you got Jordan Matthews. So you've got a mix. They're not all stars, and I know the fantasy guys all love the Antonio Browns, and they sit at home and masturbate watching the game, waiting for Antonio Brown to score an 80-yard touchdown. That's not what the game's about. It's about having the players around that are going to win. And the biggest thing out of last weekend's game in Jacksonville is the fact that the Eagles' offensive line was decimated. Both of their tackles were out, and guess what happened in the second half of that game? The offensive line sucked it up and played a great game. The offensive line was really underappreciated in that second half. The blocking that they did for the running game up the middle and the protection they gave Carson Wentz to hit his receivers because they went up against a Jacksonville Jaguar defensive front, which is pretty damn good. And they protected Carson pretty well when you consider the pressure they were putting on him in the first half. They made adjustments, and the offensive line protected Carson better in the second half, and that's why they put away the Jaguars. So anyway, that's the latest on that. But the one thing about and I said this last week, the NFL versus, I'm sorry, Jose's still there.
Yeah, he's still here.
I'm sorry, Jose. We'll go back to the NFL. I'm sorry. Now, hockey action. Will the Flyers make the playoffs this year, Jose?
Early talking on Halloween night, I'm going to have to go 50-50.
50-50?
50-50 shot.
I got
a 50-50 shot to make the playoffs.
I got a better chance of hitting the 50-50 lottery at a Flyers game when it's up to like $60,000.
He's out of lifelines.
What I want to know is what the people want to know is did Jose get dressed for Halloween? Is he out there trick or treating? Is he handing out candy?
No, he said he's taking his tricks at home and his treats at home.
Jose, you don't get dressed for Halloween at all? You never went out as anything? Maybe it's like another caller.
I wore a hoodie and I wore a hoodie for Halloween. I put my hood over my head.
It's good. Look, it works. It works every night in the city in some neighborhoods. You know what I mean?
Some
keeps people off the streets.
Yes. If I had my way, I'd be wearing the Bernie Perrant mask around my residence.
By the way, did you see because we had the TV on ESPN earlier when we came in here to Moonshine in South Philly? Tony Kornheiser was wearing a gritty outfit with the full hair and the beard and the googly eyes. And you see
really? He was gritty for Halloween?
There's some parts of the city where people look like that normal.
I know.
It's crazy.
Well, especially in Kensington, up in the northeast
area. Yeah.
A lot of those redheads up there.
Love those redheads.
A lot of those Irish. I'm talking about the guys.
Oh, sorry.
Gritty's a guy, isn't he?
Cool. I don't know what the hell he is.
Is Gritty a guy or a girl? Is he androgynous?
He's a mucker and a grinder. We know that much for sure.
Now, has anybody determined the sex, or is he like neutral?
Asexual?
I don't know, Bruno. I might have to talk to the department at the first union.
You got to be careful nowadays. You don't want to label anybody the wrong gender when there's now 50 genders. So I want to make sure I know what gender he is.
Maybe he's asexual. Or he's androgynous.
I know a lot of women who are asexual, and that's why I don't really bother with them. They're just friends.
Maybe he's a Miss Robin fan.
Exactly. They're friends without benefits. How's that, my asexual friends? We know asexual people, don't you, Robin?
Unfortunately.
Other than that, let's see here, folks. Next week is Dallas week.
Have we started that yet? Now that Wing Bowl has been canceled, and it's a final at Wing Bowl after 26 years, Jose, Wing Bowl, your thoughts?
It's gone.
You know what they're going to do? I tweeted it out after I found out the news the other morning. There will be a million stripper march onto a WIP's headquarters here in Philadelphia. And for those people who don't know, you know who started Wing Bowl 26 years ago this coming fall?
You.
You did.
Well, no, it was you and...
Did. Yeah, but I was the one who spawned it.
Yeah, so you're the reason for this shit show that's been going on every year?
No, not to the point where it exploded. I'm not taking all the credit for it. Well, but we used to do a show in the lobby of the Wyndham Franklin Plaza Hotel. What's the name of it now? Eric Cohen's here. He knows all the hotels.
It was the Sheraton, and it just got renamed.
Yeah, it was the Wyndham Franklin Plaza. Then it became the Sheraton on the Parkway.
Philadelphia Inn now.
I don't know what it is.
No longer affiliated with Sheraton.
It's not a Sheraton. But it's the hotel that used to be the Wyndham Franklin Plaza. We used to do our morning show in there from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the lobby. And we sit around much like we do here. People would come in and eat and drink, not alcohol, but somebody brought in a dozen donuts, glazed donuts, and I said, I can eat that whole dozen. That's how it started. Because, you do stupid stuff on the radio. And then Al and Angela were like, there's no way you can eat. And I ate a dozen glazed Dunkin' Donuts in one sitting. And people were like, wow, I can't believe you did that. And then people started calling in and said, big deal, I can do this and I can do that, the machismo thing. And then a guy called and said, my dad won the hot dog eating contest at Nathan's years ago. He's older now, but he ate 50 hot dogs back in the day when that was a big deal. Now these guys are eating like 100 hot dogs at the Nathan's thing on the 4th of July.
Yeah, especially because you think, it's bad what you think was in hot dogs now. Imagine back then, 50 years ago.
Exactly. We didn't care what was in it back then. Exactly. Now all of a sudden we want to make sure there's no sulfites in it or any of this other stuff.
Sulfites is what gives it that snap.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I thought that's what it's in wine and stuff, sulfites. No. But anyway, so Angelo and Al and I are like, have them come in here. We'll get hot dogs and we'll eat in the lobby. So the guy comes in and he's an older gentleman and his son's saying he can't have the rolls though because he's got a heart condition. I'm not making this up. I wish they would play the tape of it. I don't think they want to give me any credit or have any association with me, and I don't have any problems with Al or Angelo. But it's almost like they erased me from the history.
Yes, Al does.
Which is an outrage.
It takes full on. And I've heard Rob Tourneau he did an interview. He didn't even know that you were part of it at the beginning. He's like, oh, they don't mention you at all.
It's all right. It's not an ego thing. It's just I was there, and that's how it started. The rest is history. Uh-oh.
And
Blog
there.
Talk just stopped.
Was that Jose or Blog Talk?
Well, if Blog Talk goes out, Jose goes out.
Yep.
That's the Maryland's coach.
That's Maryland's coach, J.D. Souther, or whatever his name is. DJ, what's his name?
The best I can do right now, Robin, is try to fire it back up.
No further information available.
So Maryland fires their coach, who they just reinstated 2 days ago, after they finally realized that the guy they fired was there when one of the players died, and the strength and conditioning coach resigned, and he was put on administrative leave, and then the school has been sued by the family of the kid who died while they were training in the heat of the summer. And then they finally figured out, well, enough time has passed. Let's bring back DJ Durkin, not affiliated with DJ Jazzy Jeff, or who's the other DJs that you know?
DJ Paulie D.
DJ Paulie D. How can we forget
the
this?
Great DJ Ronnie Cycli.
Exactly. Former NBA great, and of course former Syracuse Nat. Syracuse Orangeman. Everybody's a Syracuse
Say DJ
Nat.
from Full House. DJ Tanner.
DJ Tanner.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's the coach. They bring him back, and then guess what happens?
DJ
People
Rob
don't
Bass.
forget a couple of months ago. And they realized people are marching on the campus. Today, Maryland fired him again. What a joke college athletics is. That's why I pay no attention to college sports.
Let me see if I can pull somebody up on the phone.
Let's go back to the phone.
Well, let me just try this. I don't think it's picked back up.
Damn phones.
Yeah. Hello?
No, we don't hear anything.
Hello? Nope, we got nothing. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to effort it another way.
By the way, to this one guy out in L.A. who's trolling me on Twitter, because I had the audacity to rip Don Lemon of CNN for being a racist, for things that he said that is not apologized for. And I don't call people out. You know, people have called me names, and I deal with it. People have accused me of being a racist, and I dealt with it. And I was punished for it, by the way, on a tweet that was only up for 10 seconds. So I paid the price of Twitter stupidity. But Don Lemon goes on CNN every night and makes some of the most ridiculous statements. You can see it live. I just saw it on Twitter today, and he's getting skewered. So I pointed out that the fact that Don Lemon can do that and get away with it and never have anybody demanding his job, and I'm not demanding his job. I don't care if they fire him, and I'm not calling for anybody's firing. CNN won't fire him, though.
No.
They won't. And so that's the point that I have a problem with as a journalist, because my background is in journalism. It's not in being a wacky sports talk show host. I started out as a legit reporter. I won an award, the Philadelphia Press Association Award, for covering a major nursing home fire in 1973. I've got the plaque from the Philadelphia Press. So I didn't get into sports. I got into news. And my background is political science and journalism. So I take it seriously. And what bothers me about the current climate, and I don't care if you're right-wing or left-wing, this isn't about taking a side in politics. This is about seeing journalism devolve into hackery. And I don't care if it's Fox News or CNN or MSNBC, but when I watch people who are pretending to be journalists, reporters, not reporting, because there's a difference. And that's what people don't understand that, because they're so enraged in whether they're a left-winger or a right-winger. They have to be sheep on both sides of the extreme parts of these Democrats and Republicans, that they sit on Twitter and wonder whether you're saying something, and if they think that you're a Trump supporter or saying something that they don't believe in, they immediately go crazy on you. And that's just living proof that people don't believe in free speech or the First Amendment anymore. You can't possibly give an opinion that is educated and informed, especially coming from, because my attacks are always on journalism. When I see really good reporters who are no longer really good reporters, like Andrea Mitchell, who I worked with when she was the City Hall reporter in Philadelphia at Channel 3 at KYW. She was a great reporter. Now she's at NBC all these years later, and she's turned into a political hacktivist. And listen, I don't care if she has opinions, but she's not an opinion columnist. There are people who report the news, and then there are columnists who give opinions on the news. Well, and people don't know the difference anymore.
Right.
That's my point. If you're a journalist, your job is to report the news. If you're a columnist, it's the same thing in newspapers. Columnists don't give you the game story. They report on what they believe, comments from the coaches, and then they put a story together and their spin on what they believe happened. But now, people think that if you give an opinion on Twitter, which is what Twitter is about, that you can't have a different viewpoint or else you're some crazy person. And the majority of people who are the ones on here giving me a hard time have no idea about journalism, about sports knowledge, about integrity, or about anything political. They're hacks. You're all hacks, okay? But you can go on and do what you want. You can go on and say what you want. But I'm not going to stop when I see journalists, regardless of where they work, regardless of what network or newspaper they work, and I see something that is an affront to the career that I chose as a young man to go into, I will call it out. And if you don't like it, tough shit. I don't answer to you. I give my opinions. That's what Twitter's about. The difference between me and all these other people who call me out when I dare criticize someone who's an affront to journalism, to then say that I have no journalism back. I got this one schmuck out in California who's, by the way, you know what his Twitter handle is? To show you what a hack he is. Vote all Republicans out. That's his Twitter handle. You look at my Twitter handle and my Twitter thing. I don't have any political stuff in there. I'm not a MAGA guy. I'm not a resist guy. I'm not a blue wave or red wave or whatever crap all these hack politicians are out there scrambling for next Tuesday.
You're looking like a pimp right now.
I am a pimp, and I'm proud of it. It's the Huggy Bear Party. But this guy says, you sound ridiculous. Still waiting for you, Tony being a journalist.
He looks ridiculous.
When you're a young punk who doesn't know shit about anything, don't come at me with knowledge about what I've done in my life. I can assure you, Mr. Vote All Republicans Out, that I have forgotten more about journalism, integrity, or anything political than you'll ever learn. So go stand there with the sheep, go out there and burn some buildings down or whatever the hell else you think you need to do to prove your point. I don't care about Republicans or Democrats. I'm a registered independent, and I'm an independent thinker. And if that's too much for you to handle, then go march somewhere. Go outside and break some Bank of America buildings or something. Put a mask on other nights other than Halloween, and go out there. Well, what a tough guy you are. I don't play that. I'm sorry.
I fixed the phones.
All right. I was just stalling for that.
No, it's okay. No, you did a good job stalling.
Thank you.
It is kind of weird, though, to watch you in a pimp costume and
talk about integrity.
Yeah. It's a little...
Because you're talking about equality and integrity, but you also mean, bitch, better have my money. So it's a little bit misleading.
That's business.
If you think no, that's not business. It's business. You got to get business, Tony.
Damn right.
It's a little bit. It's just.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
That's the fact,
Jack.
I'm just saying, man.
Now, should we go back to the phone, or should we do
well,
an update?
the phone lines are off, but we only have 5 minutes to go before break because we are going to take a break. So let's just whatever we're going to update. Let's keep it under 5. Let's keep it under 5.
And I want to hear people rip Luigi tonight.
For what? What I do? What the hell did I
do? This with some of my favorite co-hosts, all of my favorite hosts. Andrew Siciliano. We designated a day as Rip Andrew Thursday, where people can call in and rip my co-host for things that they found they didn't agree with. And it was a joke because I love
Of course, yeah, it's awesome. It's
but we need to start doing a Rip Andrew Wednesday, a Rip Luigi Wednesday.
Why? But for what, though? What's the purpose?
For example, it's Halloween. Would you think
is...
you're too important or too cool to not wear a Halloween
I'm
outfit?
Captain Disgrazia. I told you I wanted to dress up as, and you said it might be a little racist. And it might
the blackface thing doesn't work because
I wasn't
people are
going
getting fired.
I wasn't going blackface. All right. So what I was going to do was I was going to get a white suit.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was going to put one little brown dot on my shoulder, and I was going to go out as the 1% left of Sammy Sosa.
See, now that's racist.
That's not racist because
That's
Sammy
racist.
Sosa went whiteface.
Yeah,
he went whiteface.
But he didn't do it as a costume for one night. He got his skin lightened.
Right. That's what it's for fun, man. It's a joke.
How many people would get the little brown dot on a white suit as a funny Halloween
It's because
costume?
it's clever.
You could still explain it to people. If you have to explain the costume,
well, I'd have a needle sticking out of my ass too at the same time.
well, that's it. If you had a broken, if you had a broken bat with like cork flying out of it, maybe people would have a better.
I've had some pretty good Halloween costumes in the past. This year, we really didn't do anything on Halloween except we were doing a show, so I'm here to help out to do that. And I really didn't.
We're not doing anything. We're doing a show, and we're in costume.
I said we really didn't get in to do anything Halloween-y, is what I'm saying.
This is Halloween-y.
Well, I meant usually like party-wise. Like last year I did American Psycho,
Yes.
which is pretty awesome.
By the way, Bobby Bridesburg says Luigi's too sensitive.
He is too sensitive.
It is.
That's okay.
And I'm a sensitive man myself.
I'm going through
I
some
embrace
shit.
my
Sensitive in a
female
different
side.
way.
I embrace my male side.
I'm not too sensitive.
I embrace anything that moves, actually.
It's called playing it up. You'd embrace it if it did move. I'm talking about this is just, I'm playing it up. I don't care if people call in and rip me. Think I give a shit? I don't care.
Don't they do that on Tuesday nights?
Exactly.
On
So I'm saying
Fantasy
call in
anyway?
on Tuesday nights. Speaking of Tuesday night, next Tuesday night, November 6th, is voting day.
That's
so get
right.
out to the
November
polls
7th.
and make sure you, November 6th.
6th.
Make sure you get out
Next
there and
Tuesday.
vote. But here's the beauty part about
Vote
this.
early and vote often. This is Philadelphia, after all.
If you vote and you come down to Moonshine November 6th with your I voted sticker,
Yeah?
you get a $5 burger and a beer.
No!
Yes.
Dude.
Yes. I went and announced it yesterday. I went above Rich's head. I called him today and told him I did that, and he said it's fine. So if you
voting
go to
day?
the polls, you come back down here afterwards to Moonshine any time of day.
On 2nd and Moyer Mensing here. 2nd, actually, it's Moyer Mensing between Mifflin and Moore.
The exact address is 1825 East Moyer Mensing
Correct.
Avenue. You come down here, $5, burger and a beer out the door.
You can't get that
All
at
you gotta
Connie
do-
Mack Stadium.
You vote,
if that were still around.
and you eat.
Now we do have. Should we take one quick phone
Now,
call?
what happens if you have, like, political hacks standing outside with bullhorns telling you who to vote for? You should automatically relinquish your vote and your beer and
Then shut the fuck up and go out.
That's
Exactly.
exactly what you'll get, because I'll be here to govern that. You bring that nonsense here between 7 and 9.
I'm going to be campaigning
We will
this
go to the phones.
weekend.
Let's go to the phones just real quick before we go on our 5-minute potty
So we
break.
can test it as well. It's a good thing.
All right, let's go to the phones. I was going to say that I was going to be outside motivating the vote by giving people money to vote for me.
Well, you can motivate
Write
our
me
next
in.
caller. 317-900. You're on the line.
No, don't vote for me. I wouldn't
the
want to be
great
a politician.
Betsy Deming just logged on.
Who's on the line?
I would vote for Tony. Tony for president. Come on.
No, I would
Gotta-
not
would
run
you
for
vote
president.
Any other way?
I wouldn't run for any. You know why I could never be in politics? Because I could never be
suit choices.
I could never be indebted to anyone who all these groups that pay you money and then you have to be on their side, and I would never ever be indebted to anybody.
That's why you need a grease man.
No, I don't want that.
Tony couldn't do it. He has way too many sexual scandals in his closet.
Exactly.
You come in here with a badge.
Actually, my sexual scandals would help me get elected.
Wouldn't it?
I would run under the name Permit Schmerman. Forget it. Whatever you need to get passed, just bring some money.
I'm sorry.
I
go
apologize.
ahead.
I guess I didn't introduce myself here. I got too into the political banter here, Tony. My name's Caleb from Indiana. I actually used to call into your into the night show. Bygone era ago.
Yes, absolutely.
You used to call as a young punk.
I never called him a punk, though.
He was like a 14-year-old. Didn't you start calling when you were like 14?
Yes.
Actually, 12.
12.
It was 12 until I was 14, and obviously was a fan throughout the whole show's period.
That was the age of consent on sports talk radio, though. You know, most radio shows will not put anybody on under like the age of 18, right?
I know. He was so funny because Caleb would call and says, "Am I allowed to call? Will you put me on the air?"
Yeah. Now that
and
are you sure you want to call? Are you sure you want to be on the line right now?
Caleb, my favorite one was when you were at a sleepover and you were like in your sleeping bag with a light on under your covers, and you were whispering because you didn't want to get in trouble because you were at a sleepover and you're calling into the show.
I had to disperse my hot sports takes, Miss Robbins. Come on.
You have a hot sports take tonight?
What's a better place to disperse it at than the Tony Bruno show?
Now, you're over 21 now, right? You're legal, right?
Yeah. I'm legal all over the world, Tony. I'm 22 now, yeah.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, it is really beautiful here. I actually have, I guess, a hot take about how Matt Kemp may replace Dave Roberts as the Dodgers manager next year. But I actually have a question about sports talk media in general and stuff. And I know you're about to go to your break, and I really appreciate if all three of you could talk to me about it during the
But we don't have a hard break. That's the
okay.
thing about this show. We don't get cut off if we don't hit our break time. Like network radio, if you don't get out at a certain time on a hard break, you get cut off, whether you want to or not.
Giving you the wrap-up signal.
No, you ain't wrapping nothing up, bro.
Here's one Caleb's not going to hear. Ready? Hey, Caleb, great call, man. Thanks. We're up against it, all right?
We're up against it. We're not up against anything here. You're going to be up against the wall if you keep this up, Luigi.
Man. I'm sorry.
Now, what's your hot sports take now?
My hot sports take is, how in the heck can Dave Roberts, for 2 consecutive years, use Kenley Jansen in the 8th when there's a one-run lead, him pretty much blow it every opportunity except for once, and still keep his job this offseason? I just don't understand or don't see how that's even possible. I understand you lost to a team that was 17 wins better than you. That was the best Red Sox team since Ted Williams and Bobby Doerr donned a jersey. But this is also the team that you're spending $55 million to pay Alex Guerrero to waddle away in the minors. You have to be efficient with the money that you're spending, and if there's going to keep spending money to be National League pennant winners, that's not good enough if you're a Dodger fan at all.
Well, I know Dodger fans are upset, and I understand why. I mean, but then Kershaw comes in, and in a game that the Dodgers were done. Once they lost Game 4 and go down 3-1, it was over. They were not going to come back and win.
Yeah, but Caleb's talking about the fact that the money that's being invested in these players is they're just poor investments,
man. We talked about David Price prior to this World Series, prior to this postseason, being a guy who never came up big. So he had immense pressure on him in Boston, which is a lot tougher sports town than Los Angeles when it comes to fans calling people out when they mess up or when they think they're not doing a good job. You saw what happened when they lost. Dave Roberts is no good, and guess who else is no good now all of a sudden?
Who?
Clayton Kershaw.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They're killing Clayton Kershaw. Not a big game pitcher. Let him go. They were calling him Chokeshaw. And so that's what happens when you get close and you think you should win and you have that window of opportunity. The Phillies did that in the 70s. They had good team after good team, and they ran up against the Cincinnati Reds, the big red machine. That happens in the NBA when Patrick Ewing and the Knicks and John Stockton and Karl Malone in Utah had Michael Jordan in the way of them winning championships. It doesn't mean they're not good enough to win because they repeat as division champions and National League champions and pennants. It means they run into a better team.
But no, and that does make sense, and that's true. That really is accurate.
And Boston had to beat 3 teams that won 100 games.
No, listen, Caleb even said it before. Like they ran into arguably the best teams in freaking baseball history. Okay, and a buzzsaw in Boston. But the thing,
best teams instead Williams.
Exactly. So the thing is,
this was a once-in-a-lifetime team, Tony.
Right.
Yeah, and of course Luigi and Robin. Like, I don't disagree with any of you at all.
But what he also said was the Dodgers organization who's paying Alex Guerrero a ton of money to sit in the minors. The money that they're spending, and it's a lot of money they're spending out there in LA on these players.
But they have to. They're the Dodgers. They're LA. It's like the Yankees.
I understand, but at some point fans do get upset, and they're saying, "Hey, you're frivolously spending all this money, and you're putting it into bad investments." And they just don't like something has to change, and more often than not, it's the manager that has to change.
No doubt about it. I'm not saying his job is safer. I don't know what they're going to do there. I'm just saying that fans, and it happens in every city, but having lived in Los Angeles for 11 years, I know this. The fans there are not nearly as hard on players. I mean, the Shaq-Kobe thing when I was through that era, people took sides with Shaq's team. No, it's Kobe team. That's normal, but they were still a great team. Even though those guys didn't like each other, they still needed each other to win championships. So they put all that stuff aside when the playoffs came around. The difference with the Dodgers versus the Red Sox is, we talk about statistically they're the greatest Red Sox team in history with 116 wins. But you look at them man for man, talent-wise, who are these guys? They don't have the big Poppy. They have a couple of name guys. The only guy left from their previous World Series was
the thing is, they have a lot of
Bogarts.
youth on their side that could develop. Like, obviously, Mookie Betts and Andrew Benintendi for two
Yeah,
names.
no, Mookie Betts is phenomenal, but you look at these guys. They're first basemen. They're outfielders. Benintendi. I mean, they're not. It's not a murderer's row
They're not
name.
the household names you remember.
Exactly.
From
That's my
years
point.
past.
When you're a big market
Of
team
course not.
and you're a famous
but Tony, I
team,
think a lot of that has to do
you
with
could
the fact
run
that
down.
baseball doesn't
I guarantee
promote
you, to this day,
to the
most
mass
people
audience
can't.
like it once did.
Most people can't name 7 Red Sox right now, and that's unusual because you know the Yankees, obviously the Houston Astros. The biggest and best teams in the big markets, everybody knows their lineups. But I guarantee you turn on the postseason this year, and you're seeing a lot of guys on the Red Sox, and this gives them even more credit, that aren't the stars. They don't have like the Yankees have, like every best player is going to play for the Yankees.
Yeah, but Caleb also made a good point there, and the reason why that a lot of people don't know who these players are, and they're not really household names to the outside of the people that live in that city and follow that team, is because baseball really does not do a good job of promoting their sport and their teams. They really don't. If you look at the NFL, right, everyone knows everyone on NFL teams because it's in your face 24/7. For baseball, you really have to go to like the MLB channel to get steady baseball talk.
That's available.
Seriously,
right.
there was a World Series going on. We're in the middle of.
When you look at daily fantasy commercials, how often are those basketball or football players? When do you see a hockey or baseball player?
You really
promoting
don't.
Daily fantasy.
You really don't. It's basically now it's become baseball has become a niche sport. America's pastime has become a niche sport. It's been surpassed by the NFL and basketball.
I definitely say more regionalized than niche, but yeah, I definitely agree.
Seriously, because you're
facet.
right. Tony said you couldn't name me anyone who could name me 7 players on the Red Sox, right? Name me someone who can name me 5.
Well, that's my point. And my point is baseball fans know, the regular fans don't, and we expect that. But the bottom line is what this team did, which made him great, is the stuff that you need to do in the postseason.
Yeah.
Scoring runs with 2 outs. I don't remember any team that ever was able to put together rallies and get runs with 2 outs. That's the most pressure in the postseason. When you can get 2-out hits,
and the fact that
legends are made that way.
Having the top lineup hit 0 for 13 was Mookie 0 for 13?
Yeah, until he hit that home run.
Ridiculous like that. Yeah,
he was in a horrible slump.
And they got guys like Sale and all these other guys who came in and were major contributors. Guys who were looked down on in other cities, and then they bring them in.
Nathan Eovaldi was in the 18-inning game.
Yep,
exactly. So you give them credit,
exactly right.
The one thing I didn't like what the Red Sox did, but this is the way the world has changed. They're chanting "Yankees suck" on the field at Dodger Stadium. The Yankees
nonsense.
Aren't even in the. Why do you care about the Yankees? You dropped 16 runs on them in their stadium, didn't they? Didn't they drop 16 on the Yankees at Yankee Stadium when they played them? So why do you worry about the teams that you beat? You won. You're the world champions.
And listen, no one's taking anything away from the Red Sox. Now, just to piggyback and go back to what Caleb was saying, I think his point is that the people that actually do care about these Dodgers are worried of the team going forward, and there are a lot of talks of a change in the captain of the ship there with Roberts. And
I hear you, man. Listen, it's
great that Machado. Filled in for Corey Seager, but is the left side of the infield going to have Seager and Machado? There's just a lot of big question marks going into the Dodgers off season here. If I may have a little bit of horizontal integration with podcasts here, if that's all right.
Absolutely. We're here for you.
2 seconds.
You can have horizontal anything on this podcast.
We usually do the horizontal mambo,
I've learned from
especially with our Sky Energy Blue Sky drink tonight.
Tony was saying normally on this program we do the horizontal mambo. Is normally what we do here.
Especially on Halloween.
You see what he's wearing, right? I mean, this is what I got to deal with.
Oh, come on. He's got all the good fashion sense in the
Damn
world
right he
here.
does.
Tony does. But I'm taking everything I learned from my radio producership in Indianapolis, my internship in LA, and, of course, listening to you for a decade and a half, and going to start my own podcast.
Beautiful.
With the premise of finding interviews through various sports and breaking down a lot of the sports lingo that me and you and all of us in the room would get, but maybe not a casual sports fan, and trying to maybe bridge that gap and create more of a fandom because of it. And with all your insights, I'd love to have at one point in time all three of you on as guests to my program.
Absolutely. I'm very happy. I've done a lot of shows with young people, and I've helped young people throughout my career, whether they're men or young women. That's what I learned from the best in the business. And now, when somebody asks for help, if I have the time, I try to help them as much as I can. And podcasting, the one thing about podcasting, which has made it a lot easier to get experience, but, back in the day, and we're not even talking about 50 years ago, we're talking about 10, 15 years ago, if you were a young person who wanted to pursue broadcasting, whether it was news or sports, getting a job was difficult because even at a small station, you had to convince somebody to give you a break to go on the radio.
Right.
And
right
nowadays, you don't even have to have a radio station to get your feet wet. Put up a podcast. You may not have a lot of listeners, but you can learn because all you're doing technically is talking. You're not running your own equipment. It's all about bringing content to the table, getting your feet wet, and then you send the tapes of those out to a radio station because most people who start in radio, they have audition tapes that they make themselves.
Right. I mean, Tony, when you were young, when you were like 8, 9, 10 years old, you used to be in your mother's basement.
I was in my mother's basement, not playing video games or Fortnite or masturbating. I was there pretending I was on the radio.
Right. So
that's what I did in a dark basement.
If podcasting had been around when you were young,
yes,
you would have been doing the same thing, practicing, honing, seeing what worked and what didn't.
And I didn't even tape myself. Here's the thing. I was down in the basement doing a fake radio show that nobody heard, including me.
Did you talk? Did you talk into like a hairbrush when you?
Yeah, I talked into whatever I had, a hammer, whatever I found in the back of the basement in South Philly.
Back then, you still had hair. So
I had hair, and that's what I did. I pretend, but I sounded terrible because I had a South Philly accent. Then I went to broadcasting school, and I learned diction and enunciation and all that other stuff, which you needed to do back then. Now you don't need any of that stuff. Just turn on the radio and TV and podcast.
I'm living proof.
Well,
and that's good. That's an advantage because you can still offer content without sounding like a radio professional.
Well, and Tony, a lot of people, I mean, I know that you don't like tooting your own horn, but
except when it comes to wing bolo, that's a sore subject with me.
A little bit.
No, I'm kidding.
There is an award being named after you at the BSM Summit this year.
That's right.
It's the first one, and it's because of the fact that there are so many young people out there, and they're not young anymore, who say that you're the first one that gave them the break, you're the one that inspired them, you're the one that they learned from. You've worked with so many different people, and so this award that is being named after you, and it's the first inaugural Tony Bruno Award, is going to be given out each year to people that represent the same spirit that you have had over the years. Innovative, in sports.
And this is a national award, so I'm honored. Trust me, Jason Barrett, who came up with that, he's got some of the best people ever in this industry appearing at this event in Los Angeles.
You're like a coach with a coaching tree.
I have like the Bill Parcells tree. Yeah.
The only problem is though is that I'm like the Eric Mangini of that tree. I didn't turn into like Nick Saban or anything. I could have went to like a smaller market and did well for myself. I decided to go right into the pros and fail.
No, you're not. You're working your way up. Now, you got your own reality show coming up with the...
That's true, man.
That's right. And what are you talking about?
That's when you know I've jumped the shark. I'm now going to reality TV.
And there's no nudity involved. You don't even have to marry some strange chick.
Well, we don't know that yet. We don't know
there
this
might
is
be
live.
nudity.
We don't know that yet.
Well, nudity will help.
The great Ken Cage, Airplane Repo. Now, what's the new revamped? It's not going to be Airplane Repo.
I can't even say the name yet.
Oh.
I can't.
It's not?
They haven't officially announced. But it's all the same people from...
no, it's not.
No, it's not all the different, but Ken Cage, Danny...
They're the only two.
Yeah.
They're the only two coming
and
back.
now you're going to be the greenhorn.
Yep.
He's the greenhorn, but he's
And
not going to be
everybody gets to make fun of him all the time.
What's the big deal about everyone to make fun of me, though? Like, what's
That's how you get
what
tough.
we're supposed to do. That's how
you get
yes.
thicker skin. That's how you develop this.
But that's how you get punched in the face. Like,
No.
you realize that too, right?
No, you don't.
No, you don't. See, this is what you don't understand. You have to get to the point where you get you get made
All
fun
right.
of. No, listen. You get made fun of so often that it doesn't make a difference anymore.
All right, so here's the thing. How about we get to the point where they just stop making fun of me because I'm not the greenhorn anymore? So here's my idea. Ready? Why don't we bring someone else into this goddamn podcast and make them the intern? All right? Because
No,
I
but
think I've progressed.
No, because you still haven't learned how to take it.
What do you mean I haven't learned? Yes, I do.
See, so defensive.
Does that mean you're looking for an intern opening, Tony?
We're always looking for interns.
We're always looking for unpaid, unskilled workers.
Right.
Free labor.
Actually, we're looking for unpaid, skilled workers, willing to work long hours for absolutely nothing but the fabulous items that we have, like
I hear you.
the Sky Energy drink
and Cantina Laredo dinners
and tequila dinners
And-
groupies
and going to the Super
and
Bowl.
going to the Super Bowl like Luigi got to do.
Yep.
Going to the Final Four.
Experiences unlike any other.
Exactly.
Getting pissed drunk with
Learning
Robert
from a
Horry and
legend.
Warren
I mean,
Moon.
There's a lot there, Tony.
Well,
That's
Caleb-
intimidating. You want to come to Indiana?
I bet. I went to school in Indiana for
I would
6
love to. I
months.
mist going to Indiana for the Super Bowl that one year, and I'm really bummed.
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Oh,
Sorry.
I would have
That's
come
still
to
in
Radio
Indiana.
Row. I know exactly where that's at too, where they had it at least during that Super Bowl.
And
We
the
got to
main-
come for another Final Fours coming up in Indianapolis, right?
Yes, there is.
Oh, maybe we
It's
should
not
look into
next
that.
year.
I believe
Next
in
year is
20
where? Is it in San Antonio? I think it's
I'll,
San
hold on.
Antonio next year, 2019. And I know Indianapolis is in the mix, and I think they're coming up the year after. We have Joe Quilla doing the
Yeah,
research on that.
Minnesota is 2019.
Oh, we got to get
Minneapolis
back to
specifically.
Minnesota, bro.
Oh, Minnesota's 2019?
2020, it says, is Atlanta.
When is Indianapolis again?
Oh,
2021 is
It's
Indianapolis.
usually the rule of thumb is every 4 to 5 years. So
Yeah.
if it was what in 15, it was 16,
Do we have the rotation,
right?
Joe?
That was the last one. I have the rotation.
No,
I'm
they
just-
announced
of course I don't have the
we know the
rotation ready,
cities,
Tony.
just like we know the Super Bowl cities for the next few years.
Oh, we're Minnesota this year, dude.
Minnesota.
2019
Yeah.
Minnesota. 2020 it's going to be in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
And then we'll be at Lucas Oil Stadium in 2021.
There you go, Indianapolis, right there. Right there.
Book it,
So I guess
Dano.
we're marking our dates here, right?
Nap
April
town,
3rd,
man.
2021,
Yep.
Tony.
You know,
and Chris?
the first thing we got to do when we get there. What do we have to do, Rob?
What are you going to do, St. Elmo's?
St. Elmo Steakhouse.
Well, maybe the mayor. Well, it's probably not the same mayor, but the mayor of Indianapolis had given
No, it's a
Tony.
different mayor.
Yeah, had given Tony the keys to the
That's
city.
why he's not the mayor anymore.
Tony, we
He gave me the keys to the city, and
Hey,
then
get
I
the
came
hell out.
and I looted it. I took all the women and children and moved back to Philadelphia.
Dude, we get to go back to Minnesota and not freeze our asses off. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait. I said I wanted to go back when it thawed. Now we get a chance to go see it.
Oh, goodness.
This is awesome.
All right,
Gosh.
okay.
Your
Well, you stay
picture's
in
still
touch,
at
man.
the, St. Elmo's, Tony, on the final thought here before you wrap up before the break, I'd imagine. Your picture's still there.
My picture's still in St. Elmo Steakhouse?
Yes, sir.
Is it really? That's awesome.
Give me a roaring round of applause right there.
I'll give you one of those, man. Hang on.
You don't toot your own horn ever.
My picture's not in the cat house, though, out in Nevada.
No, it's not.
That's one spot I didn't make. There's still time, though.
You got your where's your picture located at?
It's in the restaurant somewhere.
We'll have to,
No shit.
I don't know. I haven't been there in years.
for Minneapolis, we'll have to call Chef Andrew Zimmern and accept his invitation to stay at his place. when we go
Exactly.
back.
You know where else we can go while we're back in Minnesota? We can go back to Cantina Laredo in Minnesota because
That's
people still have a
right.
chance to win because the phone lines are working again.
In
now.
the Mall of America, we went to that cantina there.
See our boy Jay.
And then we also went to the great place where we hosted our Eagles Super Bowl party.
Hometown Brewery.
Hometown Brewery. No, not Hometown
No,
Brewery. Hometown Tavern.
No, it's Hometown Brewery.
Hometown Brewery. We have shirts that
We
say
just-
it right there.
I had the shirt on a couple days ago. I assure
I
you
have
it's
the
called
sweatshirt. I have the sweater, the hockey sweater. I got to wear that.
I
you
assure
should.
you it's called a Hometown Brewery.
Yeah, it is Hometown.
Caleb, we are looking forward to coming on your show whenever you have it up and running.
Awesome. If
I might be
there's
busy,
any way
Caleb. I
during,
don't know,
like,
man.
a commercial break or something. If you guys want to give me like a number to reach you at or anything, I'll be more than willing to wait on hold while you guys take all the hot shot sports takes here. I really appreciate.
Well, we
everyone
would
taking
do
my call
that
here.
normally if we had our fantastic.
Tell him I'll text him.
Oh, okay.
I'll take
Luigi
care.
will text you.
As Hugh Downs used to say when he was hosting 2020,
thank
when
you.
people actually watched it on ABC, you're in touch, so we're in touch.
And now we're all going to go pee.
We're going to go pee right now.
Take a 5-minute break, grab yourself a drink, go pee.
Let's say goodbye to
ahead.
Caleb. Let's say goodbye to
Meet us-
Caleb real quick. All right,
Caleb, we'll talk to you, buddy. There he is.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a happy Halloween. All right.
We are,
too,
man.
buddy.
Give him a roaring round of applause
I
right
can't.
now.
It's gone now.
We'll have a Whitey Bulger update coming up in the next hour.
He gone.
He's still dead at this hour.
Yeah.
Clinging valiantly
And
to death.
I have like 2 updates. We're like backing up here, Tony.
I know we are. We have I got a 2015 NFL draft update for you.
I got to take a leak.
Yes.
I'm just giving you teasing. I'm
We
teasing.
need a potty break.
And we'll give away the tickets, dinner for 2 at Cantina Laredo in King of Prussia
Who
coming
is
up.
going to join us
Who's
for
gonna
the
be there
last tequila dinner of the year?
of 2018. Will this influence the outcome of next week's election?
I would imagine so.
It will influence me greatly, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
Come back in 5
After
minutes.
the night, I won't care. We'll be right back. Stick around. Tony Bruno Show live on Halloween.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Show starts in 5 minutes.
The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candies. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
We're happy to have you with us this evening and want you to enjoy every minute of your stay here. And while you relax and stretch, visit our concession where you'll find something to please you. There are ice-cold drinks and many other pleasing treats. Our drinks, satisfying and refreshing. They're so good. Show starts in 4 minutes. Show starts in 3 minutes. It's refreshment time, folks.
Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on. Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on.
Show starts in 2 minutes. Show starts in 1 minute. And now, on with the show.
When it's time to party, we will party hard.
Wow, that music sounds familiar. Where's that from?
You know where that's from?
No.
That's from Franchise Mode in Madden 06, bro.
It is?
Yeah, that's right. That's Andrew Porter with Party Hard.
I thought there was like something from a bad 80s hair band.
No. It's a badass song, brother.
By the way,
Yes.
Clark C. Simpson on Facebook says, "Happy Halloween, guys and Miss Robin. Y'all make me smile."
Well, thank you.
That's
That's
the
why
whole
we're
point.
here. That's what we're here. We're not here to influence the outcome.
We're gonna do it, baby!
That's right. We're going to do it, baby.
During
Still ahead this hour on the very special Halloween edition. We've got to thank our buddy Eric Cohen here. Gave him the first guy. Now, did you taste that, Eric? This is awesome. Isn't it good?
Yeah.
Tastes like Pez.
Love Pez. But speaking of Eric Cohen, though, he did give us some breaking news.
Yeah, there is sad news tonight in the world of sports. One of the all-time greats, and certainly when you talk about the San Francisco Giants history, you can name on 5 hands the most influential players. You know, you go Willie Mays, but Stretch McCovey, Willie McCovey, has passed away. One of the all-time greats. Willie, they called him Stretch McCovey, and those of us old enough to remember him playing. And I got a chance to spend a lot of time with him in San Francisco over the years. I was over there for 11 years in California. I got a chance to go to a lot of Giants games, whether it was the old Candlestick Park and the new was Pac Bell Park, and then it became AT&T Park. But Willie McCovey, who'd been battling some health issues the last couple of years, has passed away. What was his age? Because I don't have the actual story on the
80 years
old. 88 years old. Rest in peace, Willie McCovey. We'll always remember your greatness. And the city of San Francisco, obviously, mourning that loss tonight. What a great player and a great guy.
I wanted to follow up the making happy comment by Clark C. Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
You and I saw a movie that has been out for a while, but we finally saw it, The Greatest Showman.
Yes.
And with
the former Browns coach, Hugh Jackman. It was just released, even though that movie was phenomenal. And I'm not a big musical guy, as you know.
No, you are not.
So Robin and I were sitting around, and it's now on what they call free TV, but it's basically on cable. You have to have HBO, Showtime, Stars, all those channels.
And there was nothing else on.
There was nothing on.
And I really wanted to watch it, and we both
I wanted to watch A Quiet Place, but Robin doesn't like to watch those movies.
Well, I don't like suspense
It's not a
movies.
slasher movie. It's like
it's horror suspense. and I
Quiet
just don't
Place is flipping awesome.
I know. I want to watch it.
Well,
Robin's
you
a
can
scaredy
watch
cat
it
when
together.
You want to watch with me tonight's Halloween? You want to watch with me tonight? You and me go home?
Nightmares.
Tony,
It's not a nightmare movie.
we'll get some Sky Energy. We'll pour
Yeah.
out a little liquor. You and I will get all for
Pour
sticking.
one out, by the way, for
We'll
me
get all
right
for
now.
sticking.
In
And we'll
fact,
sit
let's
up and
pour
watch
one out for Willie McCovey.
gladly.
But I
Pour one
have
out.
loved Hugh Jackman forever. We got to meet him at the Super Bowl in Dallas.
Dallas, yes.
I did not realize he was that short.
He is short.
He's a little bit shorter than me. Doesn't matter. I don't care. It doesn't matter when you're lying down. But in the
What?
movie, The Greatest Showman,
What?
at the very end is a quote by P.T. Barnum
Yes.
that you live your life by. And that's exactly why you do shows.
That's
And
why
the
I cried at the end of that
I
movie.
know. The quote is, "The noblest art is that of making others happy."
Exactly.
And it's true. There is no better feeling in the world than making somebody else happy.
I agree. I mean, that's why comedians, get their energy from seeing an audience laugh. When we had Craig Shoemaker here a couple of weeks ago, that's what these guys live for, and these men and women who do this stuff. Do they have egos? Of course. When they bomb, they feel it. But when the crowd's into it and the fans are listening, whether it's a radio show, a TV show, a comedy show, you make people laugh. That comes right back to you. It gives you even more adrenaline and more energy to keep doing what you're doing. There's a lot of people who have more money than God and don't need to work anymore, but they keep working
because
not
it
because
keeps
they
them
need
going.
more money,
Yeah.
because they derive pleasure from it.
I look at Jay Leno, man. That guy has more money than anyone, right? When he wasn't working, he's still touring around just doing stand-up.
Exactly.
Well, and I think, Craig Shoemaker said it, and you see it all the time. Comedians live longer.
Hell, Jerry Seinfeld still goes out on tour.
There is something to be said about you get this high off of making other people laugh and making other people happy.
It's a joke, if you ask me.
It is a joke. The whole thing's starting to become a joke, as someone once said. You know who said that? And I had that a drop, and I can't find it anymore.
You know who else just joined?
Who?
The fabulous Jason Martinez.
Is he really listening?
Is he on Periscope?
He's on Periscope.
Okay, I got it. I didn't see him
Was
on
he in
Facebook,
Anaheim for the game last night? Is he out on the West Coast?
If there's pucks dropping, Martinez is there. Trust me. Speaking of which, Tony.
Yes.
Let's get back down to the business, buddy.
Let's get down to the business.
We got to give away this damn tequila dinner. 619.
It's not a damn tequila dinner.
It's the damn tequila dinner. 619-924-9874. That's how you chime in. All you got to do is call in. You'll be put in a hopper for a chance to win this prize tomorrow night.
By the way, we have bad news for Thursday Night Football.
What?
The Niners and Raiders game is still going to be played.
God damn it. I was hoping they switched that thing, Tony.
Fox can't flex out of the Thursday night game. Now, let's be honest. On paper, when the schedule was made, this looked like a pretty good matchup, right? It happens every year. The Niners had Garoppolo. They were on a team on the rise.
And the Raiders got Gruden. They're ready to go.
And they had all these good players, and they barely made – and then their quarterback got hurt
Both
last year.
teams are gutted now.
Both teams are now –
gutted.
They're calling it the Bay Area battle. You know what? I've given it a new nickname, and I want – you can use it out there. Remember where you heard it first. You know what it's called?
What's it called?
Bay Area Basura.
Basura.
Bay Area Basura. You know what basura is?
I don't
right,
know.
Robin?
What does that mean?
Trash.
It
Did
means
you ever
trash,
see
garbage.
It? Like in trash cans, it'll say basura. They'll put little stickers on it. That means trash in Spanish.
So when you have a dumpster fire, is that like
Basura?
fuego basura?
Dumpster
fire.
I know it doesn't.
Did you say dumpster fire?
Yeah. I have a little basura going
You
on here.
could call it the Bay Area.
Shut up, Robin.
Bay Area basura or Bay Area bile.
Yeah,
I think those two things would be.
I like Bay Area bile.
They should have been able to flex out of that, man. It was just...
No, they can't do that. They only can do it on Sunday nights because once you set these schedules for Thursday night,
Yeah, but they should have made
you can't
special...
decide on Monday. We're going to put somebody. Nobody else is playing.
There
on
should
that
be
night.
special dispensation. That's all I'm saying, man. You can't just go to anything. I mean, seriously.
That's right. By the way, the Raiders, you know what they're playing for? Las Vegas in 2 years.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what they're playing for.
Pride? I don't know.
No,
that went out the window.
They're piling up at least high draft. They got 5 first-round draft picks in the next couple of years. And I know you can say, well, they're not necessarily going to turn into superstars because you traded Amari Cooper, and you know who was a first-round draft
Actually,
pick.
getting a first-round pick for Amari Cooper who hasn't
Was a steal for the
was a really good trade.
Absolutely.
Trading to Khalil Mack could be one of the hugest mistakes ever.
You're absolutely right because there are very few Khalil Macks in the first round year after year after year.
Well, we said this before, Tony. There's guys that you'd like to be a part of your organization, and then there's guys you build your organization around, and Khalil Mack is one of those kind of players.
Exactly. Now, the other thing, and I'll get into this later, we talk about bad drafts and draft picks and how important they are. You look at the 2015 draft class now, the top 10 picks in the 2015 draft, and you realize what an absolute mess that was. There's one player of the top 10 picks who is a bona fide superstar in the NFL from 2015. The 10th pick in the draft, you know who it was?
The 10th pick in the draft? Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley was the
All
10th
day.
pick in that draft. You know who the first pick in that draft was?
Yeah, Jameis Winston. That was
Jameis Winston, who's now a backup in Tampa and may not be there after this year.
So Cooter says, well, Cutter says, Cooter, sorry. Now my mind's where yours is, Robin. Cutter says, Fitzpatrick gives us the best chance to win, so we're going to go with him this week. But beyond this week, we're not going to commit to either him or Jameis.
Now, remember, they already picked up his fifth-year option. His rookie quarterback contract was 5 years. His last year of his contract is guaranteed at $20.9 million. But here's what's interesting to note. If he gets hurt between now and the end of the season, that $20.9 million is guaranteed. If he doesn't get hurt, or if they keep him on the sidelines the rest of the year, which is unlikely, and they cut him at the end of the year, they get zero hit on their salary cap next year.
Well, here's a live shot of Jameis Winston in the locker room.
Oh, I'm hurt. Oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back.
Trust me, he's getting paid.
Oh, his agent right now is trying to figure out a way where he fakes an injury so he can get that $20.9 million.
It is amazing, though. I mean, you look at so obviously Jameis wins the Heisman in 2013, right?
You know who the number 2 pick was?
Yeah, Marcus Mariota.
Who's a good player, but is he a superstar?
No, but he's been hampered by injuries, too.
No, he's a good player. Number 3, Dante Fowler, who was just traded, the third pick to the Rams, who are already damn good on the defensive line, and the Jacksonville Jaguars trade him because his contract. But here's the thing between the NFL and other sports. The NBA is the worst example of this because they unload guys at the trade deadline just to get rid of dead contracts that are expiring. And they never really get anything in return other than perhaps somebody else's expiring contract to make the numbers mesh, right?
Correct.
Baseball, there's very few trades at the trade deadline. But football, the players that were traded the other day, the difference is they weren't just washed out guys that you just take off the scrap heap. They were guys with expiring contracts for the most part who are still productive players. Dante Fowler is still a good player. You know, Amari Cooper is still a good player.
He's a good player. Like I said, he's had injuries too, but he's also the he leads the league in drops.
But I'm saying that he's not a bust yet.
Not a bust yet, but the number 4
Jameis Winston is getting close to bust status. Right?
Yes. Jameis Winston is getting close to bust status. Yes.
Kevin White, by the way,
the
7th pick is a certified bust.
Well,
right?
again, he got injured back to his rookie year and his second year in week 1. So he missed the first 2 years of his season. So this is his first actual healthy year that he's been playing.
So is he?
No, he's not very good, but he's also hasn't played much at all.
I'm not certifying him a bust yet, but usually 4 years into the league, unless you've been injured every single year, you usually find out.
He's going to end up being a bust because of the injuries and because he was taken 7th overall. So yeah, you could say he's pretty much.
And you know us, it was a bust in that draft and pick number 9, Eric Flowers.
Yeah,
the 9th pick in that draft. Now, is his career over? No, he's gotten picked up. The Giants got rid of him. He failed in New York. But you look at that, the top 10, there were only 4 players. And Todd Gurley, the 10th pick, is the best of them all because he's going to be one of the all-time great running backs in the NFL.
Wow, Melvin Gordon went 15th in that draft, too. Aguilar goes 20th to the Eagles.
Yeah. So, I mean, there were some good players, but the obsession with the top 3 or 4 or 5 picks, especially when you're going after a quarterback in the first round, you have to take a quarterback. There have been some good ones lately as far as quarterbacks being taken very high.
I've said this before, Tony, and I'll say it time and time again. I would never, ever, ever draft a quarterback, not even number 1, not even in the first round. I wouldn't, because the chances of them actually panning out are far less than any other position. But you have a better chance of busting on a quarterback. Yes, you do.
Don't.
You have a better chance of busting on a quarterback than you do with anyone else.
Not recently, maybe in the past. But nowadays,
you just look at the first top 2 picks. The number 1 and number 2 picks in that 2015 draft. Were they worthy of being the number 1 and number 2 overall picks in that draft?
At the time, they
absolutely not. The number 1 and number 2 picks in that draft should have been Todd Gurley and Melvin Gordon. Seriously.
But you're not redrafting. You don't take
running
backs
not saying
1
that,
and
but
2.
What I'm saying is that the odds of a quarterback coming in and being worthy of that pick,
tell the Rams that.
It's not
tell
worth,
the Eagles that.
I'm just
tell the Jets that. Look
Sam
at these,
Darnold's
look at
not
these
really
players.
looking at
But
good.
no, he's better than what the Jets have had. He at least has hope.
The reason
tell
why
the Arizona Cardinals
the reason why these quarterbacks always go high in the draft and their stock goes up is because there's so many teams that are always in search of that quote unquote franchise quarterback.
Yeah, but every year you don't see 5 guys go in the first.
But every
round.
year you hear every time this is the can't miss prospect. This is the can't miss prospect.
Here's the part of the equation you're missing. The quarterbacks that are being taken now, when they're playing in college, are running pro-style offenses.
I understand
the offenses that they run in college are not the wishbones and all these other cockamamie Harry high school offenses that we used to see. So these guys that come in like Carson Wentz, and you name the guys around the league, the young superstar quarterbacks. There's a lot of really young, good quarterbacks. You're not getting them in the second and third round.
Clark Simpson's checking in saying, I want Luigi to be the Vikings' new GM. I totally agree, sir. Some people do agree with me.
I'm sure they do, but I'm saying go back the last couple of years and look at the quarterbacks that have been taken.
Okay.
Go back and look at them.
I will.
Look at how many really good young quarterbacks there are just in the last 2 drafts alone.
Doing it right now.
Because, as great as Saquon Barkley is, the Giants stink out loud. The Giants stink on ice.
I'm just saying that the miss rate is higher on quarterbacks.
It is?
Yeah, because they value quarterbacks too much.
Look at the number 1 draft running backs. Look at Trent Richardson. I mean, there's just as many bust running backs as there are quarterbacks. And quarterback is the number 1 most important position in football.
No doubt about it.
There's not even a close second.
It's the most important position in sports.
It really is. There's the second most important player is not even on the radar.
And that's why I say that a lot of teams get suckered into taking quarterbacks in the first round and earlier than they should take other players because of they want it. They want the guy to be good.
You think the Giants right now, talking about redoing the draft, if they had to do it all over again, not realizing that Eli Manning was pretty much shot.
They realized it. Trust me, they realized it.
And then the kid that they got as a backup, the kid from Richmond who's from Exton, Pennsylvania.
Got arrested.
Got arrested for almost running over a cop.
Well, at least we know he's accurate.
Yeah, his completion percentage.
He's 1 for 1.
The target was close enough that he almost hit him. So he's just like Eli. He couldn't even hit a cop in close range. But anyway, this kid, what's his name? He's a local, Kyle Lauletta, right?
Yep.
He's from Exton. He went to Richmond. And now they can't even stick him in a game to try to at least see if he has any potential.
No, the Giants couldn't afford to pass.
Yes, they could have.
You couldn't afford to pass
yes,
on a player like you see what Barkley's doing. Do you see how good he is?
Yeah,
Tony?
I see 1 in 7.
I understand that.
I know he's great in fantasy,
but
and I love the kid. I'm not knocking him.
This has nothing to do with fantasy.
Yes,
this
it
has
does.
everything to do with the fact that, yes, should they have taken a quarterback? Probably, but there's no quarterback who's better than a better football player than Saquon Barkley in that draft.
And what does Saquon Barkley equal for the New York Giants this season? 3 wins?
No, but he's the only reason he's been able to hang in games. So next
year,
they
haven't hung in games. They stink out loud.
I understand that, but he's the type of talent that you just couldn't pass on. And
Disagree.
You worry about they're going to worry about getting a quarterback in the offseason. There's free agency to happen. You can draft again. They're going to be drafting in the top 5 of the draft.
And what happens if they don't get a draft pick last year who can play? What happens then? Then there's a second year of Saquon Barkley wasted. Yeah. You never build around a running back.
They're not building.
Yes, they are. What else do they have? What else do they have but a running back?
Because their
offensive line stinks.
Right.
Their quarterback is just about shot. They don't have a legitimate backup quarterback.
Tony, I agree with this. I said it in the beginning. I said that during the draft, I said that they should have taken the quarterback. Because Saquon's not a luxury that they can have.
Exactly.
They're not ready for that. I'm just saying that the Giants, it got to a point with Saquon when you look at him and he's kind of like a generational type running back. The kind of you get like every 10 years that comes through the draft.
Todd Gurley was there and he went 10th. Is Todd Gurley not better than Saquon? Yeah, he's already proven he is.
Yeah, he is.
He's proven it. And I'm not saying Saquon Barkley isn't going to be great, but it's hard to have a good running back. It's like Barry Sanders. He was a great running back on a shitty team. How many games did they win because Barry Sanders?
But if you look at
how many playoff games did they win?
But if you look at it this way, right? So it's interesting you brought it up because if you think about it like this, that if the Giants' offensive line is so bad, right?
And it is.
And the quarterback is on his way completely.
And by the way, they wasted a pick on a first-round draft pick on an offensive lineman.
So what makes an inept offensive line and a young quarterback's job easier? A stud running back to turn around and hand the ball off to who can make people miss.
If you only win 1 game, it doesn't matter.
That, but you got to have something to move the ball forward. You got to have something to help the offensive line and the young quarterback you're going to be bringing in. You have to give them some kind of help.
They might not have a young quarterback to bring in next year.
Well, as long as they get the bail money in time, we'll be fine.
Right. We don't even know if the kid's any good, and now we're probably not going to even see if he's any good.
Well, we'll get the breakdown from jail.
Meanwhile, by the way, coming up this Saturday.
Jail.
Hold on.
Let me give this update here because we were here last year for this event. It's the annual Taste of the South.
Yep.
You know how the South tastes.
Good.
It tastes as good.
And last year's celebrity chef dinner here was amazing.
And guess who's coming back? Chef Christine Hazel. You've seen her on Hell's Kitchen. She's a great chef. She did last year's dinner. And
so
this
good.
Saturday at 7 p.m. right here at Moonshine Philly, November 3rd, Chef Christine Hazel will be here to put together a 5-course menu. Dishes will feature exquisite flavors with a southern flair. And it's a great event. You want to get tickets and info. Seats are limited. Dishes, exotic, exquisite, $65 for a 5-course dinner. And there's charity involved as well, where they always do it for a good cause. tasteofthesouth.brownpapertickets.com is the website to go to for tickets.
Totally worth it.
It really is. It was amazing. tasteofthesouth.brownpapertickets.com for tickets and info. Seating is limited. It's going to be in this room. That's where
Now,
it
there
was
was
last
one,
year.
I'm trying to remember what it was. There was one of the dishes, I think it had some kind of a lobster sauce that was totally orgasmic last year.
Oh, man. You know what they say about Taste of the South. I don't mean like the South, like Georgia to Kentucky, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, Mississippi. I'm talking about go further south down there. Further south. And you know what I like to hear when I talk about that?
What do you like to hear?
South of the border flavor that I'm
do you like to
talking
hear?
about.
Ay,
that's
papi.
I don't have it on here.
Papi, qué rico. Dame más, dame más.
There you go. Does it get any better than that?
No.
By the way, you're getting, we have a Luigi is Wrong update.
Well, what else is new?
My boy, Barbecue Beef Balboa, Street Bryce as we know him. Luigi is wrong here. I can't do my Mike Francesa impersonation, though.
Go ahead.
Luigi is wrong here. Quarterback is the hardest position on the field.
I know.
You have to get them real high most times. I try to get my quarterbacks high, too, when I take them out.
Hang out with Jameis. You hang out with Jameis, huh?
No, I hung out with what's his name at the Super Bowl one year when he was one of the top draft picks. Lee Steinberg client, now doing ads for, I don't know what his ad, Matt Leinart.
Oh, Matt Leinart.
Matt
Jesus
Leinart.
Christ.
He liked to go
Hot
out
tub
for-
Matt?
What's he pimping right now? He's got a
Who
commercial.
knows, man?
He's got a TV commercial with a bunch of old ladies. I don't know what they're selling, though.
Stiff.
No, it's not Geritol. No.
Now,
By the way, there was controversy this year with Halloween. Our good friend Joe Corrado, who we haven't seen now in 16 years, I believe, said that there was apparently an outrage that white kids, and I hate to bring the race card into this, but the race cards and everything, that white children were not supposed to wear Black Panther Halloween costumes.
see,
This year. But guess what? While those people who were saying all that stuff, they went to the producers and the people involved in making the movie, and you know what they said? That's BS. Of course
It is
anybody
total
can wear a
BS.
Black Panther costume.
so here's my viewpoint.
We had a
on
kid
it.
come in here tonight, a white kid wearing a black. Should we have
Yeah.
had him arrested?
Here's the thing.
No, we gave him candy.
We gave him candy
He's
instead.
a superhero.
Damn right.
It was a complete outrage 50 years ago when they did not have enough black characters for kids to dress up with. There should have been way more. That was wrong.
Wait a minute,
but
who took my drink?
At the time, anybody could dress up whatever characters there were available for kids to dress up as. So there was a lot of quote unquote cultural misappropriation, which I think is totally stupid, by the way, back happening forever. And it doesn't matter. Like, if you want to dress up as somebody, it's not because you're making fun of them or that you are trying to misappropriate their race, whatever. It is just because you admire them, you want to be like them, you want to dress up like them for whatever reason. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't care what color you are, if you're red, white, blue, green, whatever. Dress up whoever you want to be. Just let people be okay with it, for
Let
God's
me
sakes.
be me, as Randall Cunningham once said, and I believe he went out as himself again this year. I went out as myself this year. By the way, Willie McCovey was 80, he was not 88. Willie McCovey died tonight at the age of 80. I misspoke. Yeah, I caught it. I said it as 88. 1959 to 1980, 521 career home runs, tied for 20th on the all-time list, but the third most by any player during the span of the years in his career, which is 1959 to 1980. You know who hit more home runs than Willie McCovey between 1959 and 1980, Luigi?
Not a clue.
Hank Aaron, of course, number one, 615. Harmon Killebrew was number two with 562. Willie McCovey was third with 521. And Big Frank Robinson, 488. Those were the most home runs in that span 1959. And that's when hitting 500 home runs was a big deal. Yeah, Schmitty, he played. He wasn't 59. He came in 73, 72, 73. So we're talking from 59 to 1980. I don't think Schmidt would have had to have all those home runs by 1980. From 73 to 80, there's no way he hit 500 home runs. Yeah, so that's because back then, between the 50s and 80s, guys weren't hitting 60, 65 home runs a year. I mean, we had the Roger Maris years, and we had some of those aberrations where guys hit 66 home runs. Yeah, George Foster hit 50, and everybody went crazy back in those days. So Harmon Killebrew and Hank Aaron, Frank Robinson, Willie McCovey. And Frank Robinson didn't have 500 home runs in the decade in the years 59 to 80. So that's 67, 31 years to get to 500 home runs. Who's going to play 31 years anymore? Now guys get 500 home runs, in 15 years in the major leagues. Although that's after the steroid era, things have calmed down now. But we had that one stretch when guys were hitting 65, 70 home runs when it became a total joke. And it really bastardized all the records, in my opinion. Even though, Barry Bonds would have hit 500 home runs even without eating, let alone doing roids.
Probably.
Brady Anderson hit 50 home runs. Tell me he wasn't juiced. He did it 1 year.
Yeah.
And 1 year alone. They should expunge all the records. They should expunge all those home runs from that era. Am I right?
No.
Yes, they should.
I disagree.
Yes,
Now,
that era saved baseball.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. It saved baseball. And by the way,
I know chicks dig the long ball.
No, by the way, I don't care about steroids in sports. I want my athletes to be juicing. I want to see 700-foot home runs. I want to see balls getting thrown 150 miles an hour.
And I want to see those guys die in their mid-30s.
I don't care. It's a risk they take. Do it to yourself.
No, it's
I don't
wrong.
care.
No,
because
it's
they're not family friends. They're not my dad. They're not anything
Luigi,
important
you
to
are
me.
wrong. The reason
they are commodities on a field that I pay to go
They're
see
meat
for
to
my
you.
entertainment. Exactly, they're meat.
That is wrong.
They don't mean anything to me.
The reason why they're doing roids, though, is because everybody else is doing it. That's the only way to get ahead, and it is the same.
You're all Major League Baseball players. You're all on the same level.
You want little kids to do roids so they can become big and stronger and make more money?
If that's your choice and you want to do
not
it,
a
make
choice
money,
anymore.
go for it.
They don't have a choice anymore. If they want to become great in the industry, then that is what they have to do. So it's no longer a choice.
Then don't go be in the industry then.
No, see, that's
Then
wrong.
don't go be in the industry.
No,
because you're saying if you want to become great in the industry, you have to take steroids. Well, then if the choice is don't take steroids, then don't go into the industry.
But
Don't
they're
go
not allowed to
What
do
if it-
steroids anymore.
They should be
Hello?
able to. I don't
No,
care.
they should not.
Show them how to use it properly. You got to off cycle, man. You got to cycle off, Tony.
I'll cycle you right here, pal.
I can teach you.
Meanwhile, we got to do this big update because it is Halloween. And what more fitting story than one involving the spirit world? No, I'm not talking about my blue skies. By the way, I need some more vodka. I have tapped out of
I
my...
need something to drink too, man. I'm a little ornery
I'm
right
tapped
now.
out
I need
here
my
too.
Tony Bruno Blue Sky made with Sky Energy drink. And, of course, what else is in there, Robin?
I think we might have perfected it. I'm not quite sure.
What was
we
the
still
added
need to do a
ingredient
couple
we
more.
added tonight?
We added Chambord.
Chambord.
It's a very rarely used mix.
I have
It's
Chambord.
so good, though.
But it
is
was
really good.
really
But it's not
delicious.
blue. It's not like blue
It's
blue
a-
curacao.
No, because blue curacao kind of sucks.
No,
It really,
it doesn't.
yeah,
Yeah, it
no,
does.
it's not good. It's like kind of like rubbing alcohol with blue coloring.
Isn't that like most alcohol?
No, because like other alcohols have nice flavor. Blue curacao.
It's
the
not for
only-
flavor. It's for color.
It's for color, and it's just rubbing alcohol with blue dye. So we nixed that, even though it did turn a nice blue. But we're trying to figure out the Bruno's Blue Skies, and I think the Chambord might do it. It almost looks like a sunset when you have the Chambord and the vodka in the bottom of the glass, and then you add the blue sky on top of it. It has this sort of like two-tone. It's very red, white, and blue. The white ice, the red Chambord and vodka, and then the blue sky energy on top. It's delish.
Yeah, I'm going to have another one. We need to get...
But in the meantime...
Let's go to this update, because this one, a lot of people will understand this story. Because,
you think?
Especially nowadays, where so many people are insane and have a lot of weird thoughts in their minds.
Why you got to talk to me like that?
I'm not talking about you.
At me next time.
Well,
Don't
you
at
do have
me.
a lot of weird thoughts.
Hush.
A lot of people have different thought processes. A lot of people think they know and do stuff that they may not, but it's all that matters is what they believe. That's what free speech is about. But there's a woman across the pond, as we like to say, who has taken her, what are we calling this update, Robin?
Romance to a new level?
No, we had an earlier tone
Well,
for
it's forget about Ghostbusters. We've got Ghost Bangers,
Ghost
dude.
Bangers, not Ghostbusters. Let's go to your Ghost Banger update desk. And a woman who has been with the spirits many nights.
Yes, I have.
Miss Robin.
I have been touched many a time.
Not by an angel.
Now, I might have been touched, but this lady says that she has not only been touched.
I've been touched by spirits at Eastern State
Yes,
Penitentiary. It's
yes,
been documented
you have
on television.
been touched, but this woman has had sex. She says she has had sex with at least 20 ghosts.
Was she a Kardashian?
Exactly.
Well, they don't sleep with ghosts. They don't sleep with anything white.
Not only. Oh. Is that racist?
Oh, fuck. It's about damn time.
Did you just say the F word?
Chris Humphries is whitish. Oh, Tony.
I'm sorry.
You tell me I can't dress up like 1% of Sammy Sosa?
It was a joke. See, ghosts are whites.
See, that was
That
funny.
is the greatest.
Not every ghost is white, but every portrayal of a ghost,
Yes.
Casper is white, right?
Yes.
It's the
The
greatest
Stay Puft Marshmallow guy is white.
Oh my God.
They're racist. I think the whole ghost image is racist.
It is. It is. You're right.
So let's go back to this chick who's banging ghosts.
She's banging ghosts, and now she says that she is engaged to a ghost that she didn't meet in England. She actually won a free trip to Australia. She went down under, and boy, did she! Somebody else went down under too, because while she was there, she met a ghost whom she doesn't know the name. She was out back.
Well, it happens so also. You meet somebody in a bar. Do you know their name
Yep.
after the first night?
And she said
Maybe.
that she found true love down under.
Well, who hasn't?
And she came in contact with this spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And she decided that she felt better than she'd ever had. She'd just gotten through a big breakup, and she was very sad to leave Australia, except he followed her home.
Oh, that always happens in those ghost shows.
And then she joined the Mile High Club with said ghost on the trip back.
She was ghost banging in an
She was
airport,
ghost
in an
banging.
airplane latrine?
Yes, she was. Well, I don't even think that. Well, how would anybody know that she was ghost banging? She could have been doing it right
Did you
there
ever
in
try
front
to
of
have
everybody.
sex in an airport? I have, by the way.
No, I haven't.
It's really hard to have sex in an airplane bathroom.
They are very small. I've yet to try.
If you have a small woman in there, like you and I could never do it in there because where your legs are too long. If you got like a little spinner type,
Like
5 foot tall woman or 4'8", it works perfectly.
I mean, I can barely go to the bathroom in one of those because my legs are always touching the door.
I've been sitting here trying to look up all the people they've dated. You ain't off, man. I'll tell you that right
What,
now.
you think I make stuff up on the show?
I mean, it's not like all brothers, but it's close.
You're
It's
still on that?
99.9%.
We've moved on.
What do you mean?
We've
I'm
moved
still on there. The list is freaking long, man.
So
Former UNC Tar Heel Rashad McCants on
we
that
have
list,
to get
by the
back
way.
to this ghost story.
Let's continue on with the ghost banging here
Please
before we
stop
get back to the
interrupting.
Kardashians.
I didn't interrupt.
So she fell in love with him after she was wooed. Actually, was she booed? Instead of being
No, they were
wooed?
wooing. There wasn't booze. Those were woos.
Wooed. And she said that they are now in love. Even though she doesn't actually talk to the spirit, it's all internal. And they are now engaged, and she is hoping, they are hoping to have little children, little ghost babies. And she is not sure if this is going to be a phantom pregnancy or if it's going to be a real-life pregnancy.
Now, that should be a reality show.
I want to.
If this woman becomes pregnant, shouldn't we be following her every move for the next 9 months? This would be Ghost 2.
Yes.
Probably would be.
And then we'll
Oda
do another
Mae's
remake.
Revenge. Oda Mae's Revenge, man.
We had the absolutely horrific remake of Ghostbusters with the all-chick cast.
Yeah, that was bad.
Which was dog meat. But how about another remake? Except it's going to be the XXX version. We call it Ghost Bangers.
Ghost Bangers.
Who are you going to call?
Ghost Bangers.
Ghost. Give me a little taste of Ray Parker Radio and Ray Parker Jr. and radio.
Again?
Back in, yeah, I couldn't hear it. I wanted to crank it up.
On the entire time. Matt Whitman checks and says, just get it back to the Eagles, all right?
Let's get it back to the Eagles. No, we're dead enough.
It's a joke.
I wanted to, like, we saw the video
If it's a female ghost, so they cut 3 holes in the sheets?
That's a good question.
I'm just asking.
But, like, the video, the interview with her on British television is absolutely hysterical because she's talking about having a baby, and she says that she is not sure whether the baby is going to be a phantom baby or if it's going to somehow miraculously turn into a real-life child.
Now, Rob and I were watching the interview, and it's on one of the morning shows in England. And the 2 anchors, a man and a woman, are like really serious about this whole thing. Imagine Mike Jarrett doing that interview with a woman who claims she got banged by 20 ghosts, or anybody else who likes to have fun in the morning.
And she says that her orgasms are better than any other.
Out of this world?
No. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. I think I might have to, can I have a little ghost?
Wait, there's an update to that.
There's an update?
There's an update to that.
Oh, wow.
I want a ghost.
I have to give you the update. She's going to marry one.
This is
Hello, what do you think she's saying?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin it.
No,
man.
I've already noticed.
She's marrying him and having a baby.
Hello, I said that they were engaged. You have not been paying attention. Go away.
Let me give you one of these.
I've been looking at Kardashian shit.
Get out.
Get out. I can say it just as good as Harry Mays. Get out, Luigi. Pack up your bags and go.
Did they go to Jared's? You know what we should play, though?
What?
A little Classics 4. Spooky. Because love is kind of crazy with a spooky little girl like you. Remember that song? It's a classic by the Classics 4.
There's a lot of classics out there.
No, this one's an all-time classic.
You put a spell on me? Well, that's not really about ghosts.
But this one is more appropriate. Let's crank up a little Classics 4. Go back to the 60s. Was this early 70s? Or it's all a blur to me now. That's back in my rebellious days in 1968.
FYI, the phones I don't think are working. So if you want to go to the Cantina Laredo thing tomorrow, just DM us or text us on Periscope or Facebook. Let us know.
We can try.
Now that I'm looking at it, I don't think they're working.
Tell me you don't remember this song now.
I don't remember it.
Crank it up a little bit.
I call you up and ask you if you like to have a night and see a movie.
First you said no.
First you say no. You got some plans for the night, and then you stop and say, all right, love is kind of crazy with a spooky little girl like you.
Tony, you should be doing this karaoke with the same outfit.
All right, that's enough. You never heard that song?
No, I never want to hear it again.
Robin, you never heard that song?
I have.
They did another song, which was the exact same song called Stormy.
Oh,
Not
yes.
Stormy Daniels. It was, oh, Storm.
Robin, the phones are working. We have phone calls.
Let's go to the phones then.
We do?
Yes.
Oh, I just...
They're there.
On. By the way, Jack is listening in. Jack in the back is
Where's this
listening
damn Halloween update from the streets?
I don't know. Let's go to this phone number, though. 609-694.
Hello.
Hello, you're on the line.
Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Is this me?
That's you.
It ain't me.
Well, your phones are working.
The phones are working. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Did he hang up?
And he hung up. I don't.
He sounded familiar. I thought I recognized that voice.
I did too.
You know, I thought it was at first.
Who?
No,
not Jack in the back.
Jack's. I have Jack's number.
That sounded like our friend who's on the scaffolding at times when he calls in.
Glenside Charlie?
Glenside Charlie.
No, I haven't heard of Glenside.
It sounded like Glenside Charlie
I
a
haven't
little
heard from
bit.
Glenside.
Are you sure?
Yeah, man.
I don't think it was. Well, let's go to the other phone.
No, because Glenside, it was a 609 area code. No,
Oh,
the other
okay.
phone is Jack. If he's called in. If he's dialed in, that means
No,
that's
but
Jack.
he has a Man on the Street Halloween night update.
Oh.
We like going to the man on the street.
Okay, well.
is he there?
Hello?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Jack. Is this Jack?
Hello. Hey, guys, what's going on?
Are the kids still out or did they go in now? It's 9 o'clock here in the East on this Halloween night. What's the action like out there?
We are back in the house. We are sorting. We are trading back and forth candy.
I
We had a beautiful, beautiful night. Lots of here in Levittown, they do a lot of the neighbors had their fire pits out in the driveway and a lot of haunted houses and whatnot. So we got a very significant haul when it came to the candy tonight.
Now, were they all the little crappy fun size ones, or did you get any full size candy bars, any meth, any cannabis candy, or hash brownies in the neighborhood?
No hash brownies, but we did get full size Hershey bars, Hershey with almonds. What else we get? Riley, my daughter's talking. What do you got?
I got full-size Musketeers. I got full-size Musketeers.
5 Musketeers?
Full-size Hershey, and full-size Reese's, and full-size Kit Kat.
Yeah, that's my nephew.
I got a full-size woman, so that's about the same thing.
It sounds like he's had a few of those already. There's some sugar
Are you drinking
high
any of these Sky Energy drinks tonight?
Yeah, that would be one of my older nephews. Yeah, he's got quite a bit of energy, and he's going to have one of those, like half of those every day for the next couple of weeks.
Now, does he have any Sky Energy, Jack?
It was a great night.
Does he have any Sky Energy drink there tonight?
Say again?
Does he have any Sky Energy drink?
No, he was not a candidate for Sky Energy drink in any way, shape, or form. That would be a bad idea.
I think he's already has enough energy right there.
Oh, he's boundless energy. That one. He would be right back out again if we let him.
Now, what is the most popular candy bar to be given out this year?
Can I get a group consensus here? I think we got Reese's and Kit Kats seem to be full-size M&Ms. And you know what we got a lot of this year? A lot of Cheez-Its, Bugles,
Cheez-Its,
Fritos, crackers. A lot of it's quite a mix this year, and a lot of Twizzlers this year.
Now,
I just busted open another Kit Kat.
Speaking of Reese's, did you see the Reese's update? So for this year for Halloween, in several different places in New York and maybe some other parts of
If you don't like your candy, you can trade it in?
Yes, there's they have these machines that's called, they are trade in the candy that you don't want for Reese's machine. So you put in a candy that you don't want and you get back a Reese's.
They have one of those for spouses?
They have one of those, yeah. They have those in Japan. You put in the underwear of your wife, and then you get a pair of underwear from a chick that you don't know, and you take them home. That happens.
Of equal or less than value.
No, you put in your wife's clean underwear, and you get a pair of soiled underwear from a woman you never met in Hong Kong. I know there's children listening, but hey.
No, I'll tell you what, though, it was totally a beautiful night. A lot of people out here in Levittown. Red Cedar section here in Levittown, and we had a lot of good time. It's funny because I'm sitting there trick-or-treating my kids, and one of the first things I hear Luigi say is, how many natty ices was he into? And I only had 2.
Well, he did ask a legitimate question then, so the answer is 2.
Well, Jack, thank you so much for the Man on the Street Halloween candy update.
I'll see you guys next week.
Beautiful, Jack. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Jack in the back doing his appointed duty as a parent, taking the kids out to get the haul. When I was a kid, everybody had full size. There were no small sizes.
Well, they didn't even make small sizes.
And I used to take a pillowcase out.
By the way, we have a back in the day Tony Bruno update. Somebody named Robert Vilivis says on Facebook says Tony's house was the best back in the day in Lower Gwinnett. He had all the Cowboys' tombstones.
Yes,
in the yard.
did. I made personalized NFC East tombstones, and one would say R.I.P. Dallas Cowboys, and then the date, the birth date, and the death date, the Redskins, the Giants.
So,
mine were all sports themed.
So this Robert Vilivis must have lived in your neighborhood.
Absolutely. I did it all up, man. I did Christmas big. We didn't even put one Halloween decoration up on our house this year.
It's an outrage.
That's how busy we've been. We got a whole ton of them. We got stuff.
I know.
We didn't put anything up.
Because this is what we do. You know, after the holiday, you go in and you get everything 75% off.
Yeah.
We've been doing that for the last couple of years. So we have great Halloween decorations, and we did not put one single one of them up.
It's an outrage.
By the way, I got to rip Boston. We have a rip the Boston Red Sox fans. I gave him praise earlier, the team. But we got to rip the fans because if this had happened in Philadelphia, people would be the national media would be going crazy.
What's that?
We have an arrest at the Red Sox parade today. And now remember, this is in Boston, right? That's the Red Sox. So chances are A lot of the fans are going to be drunk, just like the Eagles parade. In every city, fans go out and they're happy.
Solid
You just
chance.
won a World Series. Guess what happened at the Boston parade today?
Someone got drunk and threw something.
A young man was arrested for hitting manager Alex
right.
Cora. The World Series trophy was slightly damaged, and a person in the crowd might need stitches because of a beer can thrown during the celebration. Now, remember, we were on Broad Street for the Eagles parade when my son came down.
Yep.
People were throwing up beers to the players who were catching them, and they were opening and drinking them.
Right.
So this person either had bad aim or was
bad
a
beer.
criminal. And how do you throw it that hard? Ryan Matson was out there. And Ryan Matson's still pitching. That's the amazing thing. Unbelievable. So now this kid's been arrested.
Good. He should have been.
Of course. So obviously he wasn't being fun and just tossing a beer up to the players.
No, he's
he
fine.
damaged the trophy.
Yeah, it was CC Sabathia. That's who it was.
Well, there's a lot of arrests going on recently regarding things thrown on the field or at the Buffalo.
The best one. And I didn't know about this until this weekend. Have you seen the video?
No, I haven't.
Now, we know Buffalo Bills fans, the Bills Mafia, they do the
They go through the table and all that crap.
They do,
right.
and they're zany fans. And we've seen fans' traditions all over the world,
And there's
especially in this country.
There's a lot of strange traditions and throwing things on the
the
field.
octopus in Detroit, right? That was a big one. And that started back in 1952 with the original 6 NHL teams. And back then, a local guy took an octopus to the what was the original? I was there too. What was the original?
I can't believe people throw good calamari on the freaking table.
Not calamari, octopus. The Olympia in Detroit. And a guy threw a live octopus on the ice. And the reason was you needed to win 8 games back then, and octopi have 8 legs. So they threw an octopus on the ice, and it became a tradition. Of course, that was before expansion. Now you need like 15 or 18 wins to win. But anyway, so the octopus was thrown, and they didn't never mind it. They didn't really make a big deal of it. People would throw it. Somebody would go out and scrape it up with a shovel and move on. Then, of course, later it became illegal in Detroit. And here's the best part. So the city of Detroit passed an ordinance where you're not allowed to throw octopus on the ice. And also, the NHL has rules which forbids fans from throwing things on the ice. Here's the best part, though. If you throw an octopus on the ice in Detroit and a cop doesn't see you throw it, you face no charges. The cop has to see you throw the octopus, then you get arrested and pay a $500 fine and get ejected from the game.
But they can't go to the tape. He has to physically see you.
He has to physically see you, and that's what happened this weekend in Buffalo. Actually, it was the Monday night game when the Buffalo Bills were home
and they were playing the Patriots.
On the New England Patriots, and a guy got caught for doing something that I never quite understood would be a tradition in sports, but apparently in Buffalo it is when they play the Patriots. Let's go to your... She knows her sex toys and knows how to use them.
This is technically a Florida story.
It's a Florida combination. Florida.
Yes.
New England Patriots / Buffalo Bills.
We're doing a combo mambo
update.
story here.
Let's go to your Florida desk and your correspondent, Miss Robin.
34-year-old Michael Abdullah was arrested. Now there were 3 people that did the exact same thing, but as you said, the other 2 weren't caught. They did not get caught. So Michael was the only one that was arrested for throwing a dildo onto the sports field.
Did you see the dildo video, Luigi?
I have seen this.
It's in the end zone, and then the referee comes over and kicks it out, and then the security guards.
But that didn't happen this week, did it?
It happened Monday night.
He did it again?
No. So this is an ongoing thing.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been happening a few times already.
But this is on national TV now.
What a dick.
On Monday Night Football. I don't think the booger cam was over there breaking down the dildo, though.
But
the referee kicks the dildo.
He didn't even want to touch it.
Out of the end zone with his feet, and then the security guards are supposed to pick it up. Didn't want to touch it either.
Exactly.
They were afraid to pick it up.
Like they're worried that it's a used dildo.
Well, those are the best kind,
Now,
aren't they?
I'm sorry,
What a
but
dick. Seriously. Unbelievable.
No, Tony, I didn't see the close-up photograph. There's something written on it, right?
Yeah, but the photograph that they're showing.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't He Hate Me. Apparently, one of the dildos, and it's a picture that has a yellow head on it or an orange head. It wasn't Donald Trump. It just said, Brady is a dick. That's what it says on the.
And this is one of those rubber ones that have the balls attached.
Exactly.
Yes, it's
Aren't those the best kind?
Yeah. So Michael Abdullah was arrested and had to spend a night in jail after being
So they
charged with
put him in
disorderly.
jail
yes.
for the night.
The judge set bail for $250 cash
At least get the
or
dildo back.
a $1,000 bond and ordered him to appear back in court on December 4th. Although, if he gets a lawyer, he doesn't have to appear.
See,
in
now
court.
this is the part of the story that really pisses me off. So listen, the guy got fined $500, right?
Right.
Because it was a $1,000 bond. He had to put 5%, whatever the percentage was.
It's 10%.
10%. But anyway, $500. He goes to court. He spends the night in jail. Goes before a judge Tuesday morning, and the judge says, "Okay, we're going to cut you some slack because you served time overnight and you pay the $500 fine." But you won't have to come back. And he had to go back to Florida. He lives in Florida, but he's a Bills fan, and he goes to Buffalo for the game.
But if he gets a lawyer, he doesn't have to go.
Why would you have to get a lawyer? Here's my point. So he's going to have to hire some lawyer who's going to charge him how much? Not $100 bucks.
No,
going to charge him a couple $1,000.
It's a total scam. The entire system is all. You should. Do you know that everybody has the right to represent themselves?
Yes.
But they make it so difficult in all courts of law.
But we don't know the law. The average person
do know the law.
There's many times where you do like a lawyer doesn't do anything other than
I've
just
had
say
lawyers
yes
who've done nothing but take my money.
But the reason why you have to have a lawyer is because the entire system, the judge, everybody is set. They will not even though you have a very good argument, they won't even listen to you. They won't even take it into account because you do not have a lawyer.
My point is the guy already served a night in jail and paid a fine. Why would any judge at this point determine that he has to come all the way back from Florida on December 5th, which is going to cost him how much for the plane ticket, right? Then he's going to have to hire a lawyer. What the hell's the lawyer going to say? There was an endowment fund. I think the creepy porn lawyer, I guess, raised a couple bucks for him, too.
Here's what the lawyer would say.
Everything that guy just says is bullshit. Thank you.
That's it. There's your defense right?
I mean, this is a scam.
It is a
Why
total
does he need a lawyer? He spent a night there are people who commit major crimes who don't spend a night in jail and pay $500 fines.
And not only that, the same game, there were two other people that did it.
I know, and it's a stupid tradition anyway. You know, I like when they used to just throw toilet paper on the,
They should not be
toilet
throwing
paper and a lot of
dildos are expensive.
did toilet paper. You know, there's a Penn tradition too that goes way back. The Penn Quaker football team at Franklin. I actually have the notes here. Back in the day, back in the 50s to 1980, when the Penn Quakers would score a touchdown at Franklin Field. Now this is Ivy League. They had a song that they would sing, and the fans would then. You know what the song was? It was "Drink a Highball." The song was called, and it was called "Let's Drink a Highball and Be Jolly. Here's a toast to dear old Penn." Now it didn't rhyme. It didn't make any sense. So what they would do back in the day when Penn would score, they would all sing, "Drink a highball and be jolly. Here's a toast to dear old Penn." And they would actually have an alcoholic drink and take a toast and then drink the alcohol. But then in 1980, the NCAA banned liquor at sporting events, college events. So Franklin Field was not allowed to have, you weren't allowed to have alcohol. So from 1980 on, the Penn Quakers couldn't toast with alcohol, so they changed it. They actually brought toast to the games, so they would still song, drink a highball, be jolly. Here's a toast for dear old Penn. And just like in the movie Rocky Horror Picture Show, whenever somebody says, here's a toast.
Now that can't hurt anybody.
No,
so
they
that's
threw toast. But college kids, we all know, don't own toasters. So a lot of these stupid kids would just throw bread that hadn't even been toasted onto the field.
Okay, well, it's not as bad as in European countries. There's a lot of, like in Leipzig,
Germany?
And when they play the Bundesliga and Germany, that's back and forth, they throw a severed bull's head, like a real bull's head.
Boar's head?
No, bull.
Oh.
Like cow bull.
It's not as good as boar's head. Boar's head is great.
Can you believe it? Like they throw a dead cow's
Luigi
head
throws dead horse heads at his events.
That's racist, man.
Inter Milan,
when I'm at the track.
Inter Milan versus Atalanta, they threw scooters.
Scooters?
Yes.
Did they throw mine at State
Farm?
We
try to get the parts, man. We can scrap that thing out.
By the way, State Farm Insurance, I'm still waiting for my scooter to be fixed.
We should call Jared immediately.
Let's see, June, July, August, September, October, 4 months later, my scooter has still not been repaired, and State Farm has still not settled the claim with Philadelphia Scooters on East Passyunk Avenue, where I bought this scooter.
They're moving, by the way.
They are?
Yeah, new location.
Where they moving?
They should be moving.
You should take a walk there every once in a while. It's only 5 feet from your house.
I know it is, and they have my scooter.
They have
and they're in a dispute.
I saw your scooter this afternoon. I'm not kidding. When I walk past, when I go home, it's in the window.
Are they selling it?
No, it's not selling it. It's in the window.
Why would they have my busted scooter in the window?
It's just there. It's on the side with the repair stuff.
4 months.
They have completely
4 months, and I still don't have my scooter back.
Completely
Missed an
dropped the
entire
ball.
summer. I still pay insurance for it. The guys over at the scooter store are trying to jack around with State Farm, thinking they're going to write a check for anything, not realizing that I'm going to pay a higher premium because they want to overcharge State Farm. And so I may have to sue now, and I don't want to get a lawyer involved.
Well, let's go to the phones. We might have a lawyer on the line.
It has to
This
be
is
pro
going to be the
bono,
last
though.
phone call.
We have no idea.
And then I'm going to draw the name from all the
It has
people
to
that
be
have said
pro
they want.
bono or Sonny Bono. I'm not paying a damn lawyer for nothing.
We'll find out.
Even if the creepy porn lawyer himself came in here, I wouldn't give him a dime.
Well, we'll find out. 215-416. 215-416.
He would be
You're on
pro
the air.
bono, yes.
Tony, what's going on? This is the same Rob Valivas that used to trick-or-treat in your neighborhood back in Gwen Air back in the day. So I had to call
beautiful.
in.
Are you still living there?
No, I'm in Orland now. My mother still lives in Gwen Air. Yeah, she's still in the old neighborhood.
Yeah, my ex-wife still lives there in a house that's been paid for 20 years. It's a good life if you can
But
get
no,
it.
I was out trick-or-treating in Ambler because I'm the only single one, so I was with all my friends' kids today in Ambler. We were talking about, remember Tony's house back in the day had all the tombstones in the yard of all the Cowboys players, and
I've been
I got to
for
call Tony and
generations.
talk about going to his house back in the day.
Yeah, I think my ex-wife still has all those tombstones, or my sons took them and brought them down to their homes and put them out. I had the moving hand. My son AJ, we saw it. He has one of those moving bloody hands, battery operated,
It kind of.
and it would be coming out of a tombstone.
It looks kind of. It's seen better days, that hand.
Yeah, well, it's 30 years old.
Now, Rob, I have a question. Was Tony's
Yeah.
house, were they chintzy, or did he give out the full-size candy bars?
No, Tony gave out the full size. Tony was always – see, back in the day, we didn't know what kind of big-time celebrity Tony Bruno was.
I was
didn't
already a
find that
big-time
out until I got
celebrity
into
then.
the radio business. I got older, but Tony was always the coolest house in the neighborhood.
You know what I did? I would do my whole, because I had a big foyer when you walked in with the steps, and I did it. I had the music running, I had the fog machine, and then I would peek out of the door and I'd wear some really scary mask, and and I wasn't trying to scare the little kids, but then the parents would yell at me, "What are you doing?" I'm saying it's Halloween, so I'd have to take the mask off, but I would invite them into the house. I didn't just hide. I would invite them into the house, let the kids see the spider webs and all the lights.
You can get arrested for that
and
now.
the fog. And it was a good way to check out the young moms too. That's a good way to check the
when I
the
think
local
about the
talent.
stuff we would dress up, all get arrested now with the stuff we would do because of this PC world we live in.
Oh, absolutely, it's a disgrace. I'm glad I grew up when
It's
I
horrible.
did. I feel bad for kids growing up in this generation, in this era. And I'm not sounding like the old guy next door yelling at the kids on the lawn. The fact is, the PC world, and most people agree that the PC world is wrong. 80% of people in a recent survey said the country is too politically correct. Nobody can be funny anymore. Nobody can tell a joke. You have to watch anything you say. Now, there's a difference between hate speech and having a good time, but now everything is hate speech. Everything is hate speech.
Well,
every costume is racist.
Tone, this is why your show is great and why I do my own radio show, and it's the complete opposite of PC. Well, mostly what I do is because listening to you. So being able to tune in and listen to you, just know that if somebody's inspired by you and go against the grain and don't be PC.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be a shock jock or say things I don't believe. Everything I say, I believe. I don't try to create controversy by ginning up some fake sports discussion or political discussion. Everything I say is from my independent thought. I don't read talking points. I'm not affiliated with any political party. I'm not. I've never spent 10 seconds involving myself in politics. I've never given a dime to any. I forever refused to donate the money to the presidential election campaign on my income tax. Who the hell am I sending money to? You see that on your tax return? Would you like to donate $3 to the presidential election? No, they're already pissing away billions trying to be president. Why would I give them $3?
Well, they got to recoup some of it somehow.
No, they're spending our money. Screw them all. I'm sorry. Now you're getting me outraged.
I always appreciate the honesty, and you're not like 98% of the radio talk shows in this city because you're honest, and that's why we love you.
Well, thank you very much, Rob. I appreciate it, man. And happy Halloween.
All right, fellas. You guys have a good night. Robin, you have a good night. I'll let you guys go. Have a great show.
Thank you, Rob. That's all I try to do.
Tony, this might be a winner. I think you had at least 3 or 4 rants tonight.
Rants?
Yes.
I didn't have any rants.
Yes, you did.
What else we got in the bowl? We got Kit Kats. We got. I don't think there's any rants in there.
We're on major overtime.
Yes,
already.
we are.
Do you get any mounds? Mounds are the shit, dude.
We don't have any mounds.
Do you have mounds at home?
We got Milky Way.
Do we have mounds? Milky Way.
I don't have mounds.
I have a lot of people already.
Robin's the only mounds in my house. Oh.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I got M&M's Fun Size Peanut. I don't like the I have plain and peanut.
Tony, I
Yes.
don't care what candy you have
Kit
right now.
Kats. I care.
Right now, I care about the Cantina Laredo dinner for 2 that somebody is going to win. I have tons of people who have already texted me, but there is still time. If you want to go.
You mean hit you up on social media?
Hit me up on social
At
media.
her? Did they at you?
Hit me or Tony or Luigi up on social media and tell us that you can and want to go to the Cantina Laredo dinner tomorrow in King of Prussia, and I will contact you ASAP to let you know if you have won or not. So again, if you are able and you want to come with us to the Cantina Laredo dinner for 2 tomorrow night, Thursday,
November
1st.
Dia de los Muertos.
Hit us up on social media since our phones are kind of, iffy.
By the way, we have an update on how many M&Ms
were in the fun size M&M bag.
Take a guess.
Like 3?
How many? No, come on, Robin.
Close.
8. We just opened a bag. 8 M&M's peanut covered chocolates in a fun size bag. What kind of fun is that? 8 M&Ms?
No.
I have to eat 10 bags of these. I know chocolate's not good, but chocolate is good for you. Chocolate and red wine. I keep reading all these surveys. So we have M&M's, plain and peanut, Milky Ways, Kit Kats, Snickers, and Twix. Oh, and Nestle's Crunch.
And Nestle's Crunch bars are solid too, man.
Oh, then now I'm taking all the Nestle's Crunch and the Kit Kats.
I like the crackles, man.
I want the Twix.
Good.
Those
I
are
don't
mine.
like Twix.
And I like Snickers.
I don't like Milky Ways.
No Mr. Good bars though.
There's no Mr. Good bars in there.
Outrage, man. Crackles are good too. You got them?
You got Mr. Good bars? You got any hot tamales in the car?
Cold today.
Go
Hot tamale.
I gotta see some hot tamale there.
Okay.
And they're made by Just Born Candies in Pennsylvania. You know what they make up there? I was watching PCN.
Mike and Ike's.
The
hot tamales.
Peeps and hot tamales. Those are the 3 candies they make at the Just Born Candy Company up in suburban Pennsylvania. In Dunmore. That's good Pennsylvania knowledge right there.
There's a lot of candy that's made in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. What's the other one I was watching? Goldenberg's peanut cheese, but I don't think they're made here anymore, are they?
Yeah, they're still made here, but they're owned by somebody else now. And then there's the other ones that are only made a couple times a year.
Gertrude Hawk is another chocolate.
Didn't they play guard for the Pistons in
yes,
like
I think
93?
I think they're on there now.
But Gertrude Hawk, they are not sold in stores.
No, they're sold in stores, and they're used for kids that they sell. They have their own stores, but they're also used for charity funds. Like when kids go out to sell candy, they use Gertrude Hawks, and then they ship it to you.
And then there's the other one that's only the
There's one in Montgomery County out where I used to live, too.
The chocolate coconut brittle. What was the place called? And they're really, really good, but they only do
Zittner's.
Zittner's is right. Yep.
Zittner's is another. It's Philadelphia based.
But it's not done all year round.
No.
They only now do certain times of year.
No,
like
you're
Easter
right. There's a lot of great candy. And of course,
yeah.
Hershey up in Hershey, Pennsylvania. The Hershey factory's there.
I'm surprised you didn't move there. Big chocolate nut you are, man.
I'm going to go there.
Hershey is not his favorite, though. Like
I'm a dark chocolate guy.
Yeah, we go dark cacao.
You have Hershey's dark? I used to be light, but now I'm dark all the way. Anything I do is dark. I've gone to the dark side.
Well, I got. So I went to when I went to the Reading Terminal Market the other day. I picked up you a little something too. I brought Robin stuff home already. I got this blue cheese that we really like. $32 a pound,
dude.
That's a good job.
I can buy crack cheaper than that.
But I got you some dark imported cacao, brother. Solid bars, bro.
Man.
Tony, $7.95 an ounce for this shit, dude.
Luigi is doing a really good job of buying our love, and I love him for it.
Exactly. I'm all top materialistic shit. I found out that giving love and things like that, just giving yourself and emotions means nothing.
totally
Give
overrated.
gifts.
Yeah.
Give gifts.
I'm with you.
It's better to receive. Or better to receive than to give, I think.
A hug will get you a hello. A Ferrari will get you a hand job. I'm just saying.
You better
It goes
get
along.
more
It goes
hand
along
job
with
I
it.
hope it's better than a hand
Well, it's a
job.
used Ferrari on my budget.
On that note,
Meanwhile,
we will be back here next week at Moonshine from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern.
Come on by.
Whether you are tuning into us live via all the different social media or come on down, bring your friends. There is a lovely, lovely bar, full restaurant, and a lovely...
And Big Rube's fried chicken every Wednesday night.
Yes.
Every
and
Wednesday
so
night, he's next
the
door.
food is not just normal bar food. It is amazing. Their regular menu, including the Big Rube's fried chicken. Please come down and join us. We'd love to see you down here.
I'm sorry, I'm eating my Nestle's Crunch right now.
Oh, and Switchboard Live.
Yes.
Do not forget, if you want to have reliable streaming, not
On
crossing
multiple sources.
multiple sources, go to switchboard.live. Check them out. Put in the code Bruno when you sign up for a discount, and it is seriously, they're so fantastic. It'll make your life so much
That's
easier.
how you're able to see us with one stream of our video capabilities.
Notice the stream doesn't go down anymore. It's only the stupid phones.
I know.
Well,
We got
we're
the
working on
video part of the show figured out. It's the on-air audio part that seems to be the biggest problem
which is
doing a radio
a very
show.
important thing.
Yeah, it's a radio podcast, but our video works perfectly, but our audio sucks.
Well, we are going to be, we're doing some switching around. It keeps getting better, but.
Next week we'll have a tin can and a wire outside.
That's the best form of technology we've ever come up with.
Exactly.
In the country,
But we used to, when we were doing at the Comedy Sports Place, we used to have 50 to 100 people showing up every single week.
for the
And-
food.
We gave
Well,
out free food and
it
free
is
food.
I was having some pretty awesome food drops.
But seriously, everybody, they wanted to come because they didn't want to miss out on the live show. And it's the same situation down here. We have lots of room for people. We would love to see more people down here sharing in the fun. And sometimes there's great prizes to give away.
Yep.
And we're going to have Sky Energy drinks every week. We're going to do some Sky Energy Tony Bruno Blue Sky specials.
Yes.
With the whole mashpuka in there. You're going to have the Sky Energy. You're going to have the vodka, top shelf vodka, and a little Chambord in there with the Tony Bruno Blue
Yes.
Sky.
It's like a sunset.
It really is.
Yeah, I love it.
Those are orange skies, though, right? Rio Nietzsche and the skies.
Okay.
In the meantime.
That's going to do it for tonight. We want to thank everybody. Everybody for checking in tonight. All the great people here at Moonshine.
Callers from all over the place. Caleb
Callers
checking
from
in
all
from
over the world.
Minneapolis.
I know you could have been anywhere else tonight.
But you're here with us.
But you're here with me tonight and us. And we thank you for that. In the meantime, don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Don't eat your damn kids' candy. And be safe out there. We'll see you next week here at Tony Bruno Show Live.
I hear you. I hear you.